Globe. Everybody knows this globe, the globe defined. Since there is no geometric shape, it is a perfect descriptor for the whole of reality. We hear it on the level define the whole of reality to have a non-geometric shape called the globe. Therefore, you can feel safe in the knowledge that pointing to anything within nature at a distance from you can result in a statement, "'Tis globe." Rest assured that it is globe. Here we know the Earth is definitely not flat like you. We know this to be true without question. And to think that it is against all known observable evidence. Within these words you may possibly find a belief that you can find enough faith to believe in a non-logical system. The need for logic. And Bev said, "Let there be logic." Logic was given to help us communicate the ancient dogmatic globe with no proof and no argument into a modern-day form that unthinking people might paralogize for themselves. In the beginning there was nothing. Going back to earliest recorded history and further, that has been self-evident to everyone that ever lived that 'tis globe. From measuring shadows to watching boats, even measuring angles to lights in the sky, it has been abundantly clear to everyone that performed any of these tasks or not. The only natural conclusion has ever been, "'Tis globe." Help us imagine a new way to argue and compete against the old ways of logic and reason. Join us in really critical thought. Let's make independent thinking a thing of the past. Logic, it has to be. Upon realizing years ago, having sure certain knowledge of 'tis globe without proof wasn't as sophisticated as first thought. In the beginning there was a need for something to base the already existing imaginometry on. Some sort of non-argumentative system for us build our first principles upon. And then said, "Let there be logic." And there was logic, and it was good. Logic was given to help us communicate the ancient dogmatic globe with no proof and no argument to a modern-day form that unthinking people might paralogize for themselves. Join us in the new as nothing, going back to earliest recorded history and further. It has been self-evident to everyone that ever lived that 'tis globe. Join us in a new revolution of globe thought. Help us imagine a new way to argue and compete against the old ways of logic and reason. Join us in really critical thought. Let's make independent thinking a thing of the past. Logic is the art of the sophist and is the antithesis to antiquated logic. As such, although impossible, when employing logic, the sophist must attempt to deny the existence of reasoning, the mortal enemy of logic. Logic is the art of the sophist and is the antithesis to antiquated logic. As such, although impossible, when employing logic, the sophist must attempt to deny the existence of reasoning, the mortal enemy of logic. And Bev said, "Let there be logic." And there was logic, and it was good. Logic was given to help us communicate the ancient dogmatic globe with no proof and no argument into a modern-day form that unthinking people might paralogize for themselves. Join us in a new revolution of globe thought. Help us imagine a new way to argue and compete against the old ways of logic and reason. Join us in really critical thought. Let's make independent thinking a thing of the past. Logic is the art of the sophist and is the antithesis to antiquated logic.
And we are live. There's not many people watching, but I mean, I think that's not what's important. That we're here to have a bit of fun, a bit of a laugh. Now, I have been over chatting to people, and I quite enjoy this sort of stuff. It's, you know, as a carer, you don't get a chance to do very much, and talking to people, I guess that's the way it's going to go. We're trying to further the conversation, so along with this sort of stuff that we're going to be doing tonight, going over a conversation, you know, clipping a few bits out, the main idea is that we want to try and bring the conversation out into you know, into the general. And it seems like there's a lot of people that want to shut down the conversation. And that's probably okay. Because certain people don't want to have the conversation. And that's fine. But there are people that do want to have the conversation. And that's what we're trying to facilitate, that sort of thing over here on the level. Gio's just sent me a message saying that you shouldn't be spamming links. That's not what their live chat's all about. So, you know, don't do that on his server. So there you go. There's another one. They don't really want this sort of stuff. They don't want the competition. They don't want to promote other people. That's Geo of the Earth Awakenings Discord server. Yeah.
Does that go the same for any YouTube video posted then?
Well, I don't know. Maybe just for Geo and the way that they single out that for us. You know, you're not allowed to post videos. But, I mean, it's Geo. I mean, he's allowed to do that. He's allowed to keep it private. It's his channel.
Yeah, so right? Yeah, that's fine. But, I mean... Yeah. So nobody's allowed to post videos. That's a bit...
Well, I mean...
And especially if they're at their own
different
videos,
rules, isn't
right?
it? I mean, yeah, it's special rules, right? We know that. That's what goes on in this little arena. Sort of what we're having to deal with here. So we're just letting people know, right? This is Discord, and this is for conversation, and that's what we intend to do. But seems like it's a specific sort of conversation where logic and reasoning takes place, and obviously what we're going to listen to and stuff. Hopefully that's what we can go over, like, you know, the reasons why people say things in conversations. Yeah, I mean, we have been over there at the minute, and they are having this thing. Have you got that one? Problem with the horizontal slopes, because I've got extremis. There you go. Apparently, Jesse Gordon, the guy that's got a load of, I think he's got 13 theodolites. He's apparently got a demonstration of horizontals sloping. At least that's what Extremesis says. And who's Extremesis? Just some random dude on Discord. Who's Jesse Gordon? Just some crazy dude that collects theodolites, broken ones off the internet. And well, I don't know. Like he's big in these arenas, in this stuff, but he's got a demonstration where horizontals slope. So I mean, that's a new one. I mean, it took us a while. Jesse Gordon, thank you very much. Got three people watching. This is something that they don't want to do, right? Because this is globe proof. And Gio's sending me five messages about having a live stream, going live. The flat Earth, I think the globe Earth contingent as well. They're into this. Anyway, right. So what we're doing here tonight is we've been over there to. I've cut this video a few times. I say not cut it. I've cut it down into smaller bits because that's what I'm going to be doing with a lot of these conversations. I'm going to be breaking them down into smaller bits, so bite-sized chunks, so you can get an idea on what goes on in these arenas. And this is what happens when you're attempting to converse with people in modern day. That's all we're doing. And obviously, this is going to show that within these Discord rooms, right? You enter the rooms and you meet these people who end up having conversations backwards and forwards. But if you're not involved in these conversations, then you're just listening to them. And it's what sort of an effect listening to these sort of people have over time. And when I say over time, I'm talking 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 13 years. I mean, that's up to you how long you stay within these arena. But most of the time, people don't stick around for too long. Sometimes people leave for like a year or so. That's what they do. And like, you can't really get into it too much. It takes a specific type of person to last within the arena of this sort of stuff. And the conversations that we're having at the minute need to be explained, because there's been a long process that's gone on, particularly with me. I guess we'll go over that sort of stuff in time. So what I want this to be from here on in probably is that more of a free-flowing conversation, right, of all of this sort of stuff that goes on. Like we said, we've got Jesse Gordon, because I've been over there to this Globe Gangster channel, and I'm trying to push the proof of Globe to Dave Weiss, because if there's any time that the Globe needs a proof, it's now. Nathan Oakley's running round saying it's a religion. And if it's just a faith-based thing and it's not reality, then it might be right. I mean, I personally think Nathan Oakley is testing the misinformation system, seeing how far he can push it, because he does need to get some more I don't know what's it called, not limelight. He needs to get more publicity. He wants to push the flat earth. He wants to push his measured flat more. So I think he's using the misinformation thing that's coming around at the minute in the UK to show everyone that he's not getting taken down by the misinformation. And if he's not getting taken down by misinformation, then is it misinformation that he's giving? It's hard to tell. So that's what I think Nathan Oakley's doing. I think he's pushing that system. Good luck to him. If he can, he's got to go against the proof of Globe, right, that we've got, and we're preparing for Dave Weiss. So Nathan Oakley's got to come up against that. But we know that Nathan Oakley can't really come up against any of the things we've said in the past, because he's banned us and he's used his little mute button, which is the other thing I would like to say. Now, I don't know, there's not many people watching. There's not many people that are interested in this sort of stuff. But in the spirit of trying to get a conversation going, Nathan Oakley went to a public event, a public thing where Flat Earth Social, I think, in Bournemouth. And he went there. There are videos going about of a couple of the Globe guys that we, were part of the Globe Gangster server where we've been talking. So we've been talking to these guys that went there and asked Nathan Oakley the question. Now, apparently Nathan Oakley wasn't happy about these people asking him questions. And unfortunately, they were asking him questions about the angle, and that's the same thing that Nathan Oakley banned us from the channel, because he doesn't want to be asked questions about this angle that he's done. So I will put a shout out. Hopefully that there are multiple people trying to get this conversation going, but I think we need to hear from Ian. And I think there's an interesting conversation involving Ian and the Globe guys that were there on that particular night too. That would be worth listening to that conversation, because I have heard, and I think it's probably recorded. It's on one of my recordings of the things I haven't put out yet. That they had their perceptions of flat earthers were changed because they were talking to real people in the Flat Earth Social group. So while Nathan Oakley wasn't impressed with the Globers being allowed to ask questions, it seems that the Globers were impressed with the other flat earthers that were in the room. It's a really weird situation. So I think it needs people to be talking about that sort of thing. Right. I know it's not unusual day, is it? But I think I'm going to be doing this a lot more, doing these sort of things. Now what I'm doing is I've got a video on. So if you guys want to keep the images going through in the live chat, and we'll do the talking all right. If anybody wants to comment on any of this stuff, like, please do. And comment about anything, about the way they're talking, the way they interrupt and all of that sort of stuff. Like, just let us know. And for me as well, because if I can improve my technique or the way I answer things, let me know. Goes for anyone. And what we're after is the particular clips for the song. So I want you don't understand, I don't understand, because it's a Buster song, obviously, and I'll clip all of those bits out and put them at the thing. So basically going to be doing going over a conversation, talking about it and clipping bits out, going over bits. This is where I learnt the most, doing this sort of stuff. And I've done a few years of going over these sort of things. And I think you can learn a lot by going over them. Now, I don't know whether we can have a lead up to this. Well, it's one of the conversations, but this one in particular is Blue Marble and the Realising Euclid. And if you go along in the sequence, we end up with Blue Marble realising some Euclidean reasoning, but I don't think we'll get to that today. So can you guys, is the video on there? Is it? Yeah, you can see that in there. Okie dokie. Right, I'm gonna play this, so if anybody does want to join in, let us know, and I'm just gonna play the video and edit it.
Set is, and the set is going to be this in the same orientation as the object itself.
Yeah, but how would you know those things without the Euclidean principles in place already?
I just explained it to you how I know that, because I know what axis it uses. I just explained to you.
You think that's philosophical?
No, I'm not being philosophical. I'm being very practical.
Yeah, but you think that the Euclidean principles was philosophical?
Yeah, I mean, it's much more complicated than it has to be. It's very simple to explain it, actually.
So this is Funk, and Funk is good at obfuscation. So obviously he said that the Euclidean principles are philosophical, but then when questioned on it, he says it's a bit more difficult, which is nonsense. It's not. It's very simple. Euclidean principles are just the principles of logic and reasoning. laid out in an axiomatic form. They do get complex, but the first principles are not complicated at all and not philosophical. So, again, this is what you have to deal with in these rooms, particularly people like this. It's unfortunate, but these people are around in these rooms, and they become experts in things, but it's really just experts in obfuscation. I'd say they're mad.
Euclidean principles are very simple.
Yeah, but relating it to this, I don't see how you could relate it to this.
It's very
without...
relatable. It's like as relatable as you can get
Okay.
to reality. It like
how do you relate it then?
Perpendicular?
Kant
Dude, you've been talking about perpendicular all the time.
Kant said it was inherent in nature.
Yeah, I know that it's perpendicular, right? But that's without even thinking about I didn't mention perpendicular once in my explanation. It was just that when you flip the coordinate system,
you did though.
As long as you transform the everything as a whole, everything is going to be similar in math.
Because they're perpendicular.
I mean, yes, but
Yes,
that's not the whole point. The transformation is the point. Whether it's perpendicular, it has to be perpendicular, of course. Otherwise, the math wouldn't work, right? But
or the geometry wouldn't work either.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But you could also say, but you have to have like a law of identity, as Bev brought up. Like you can, how far do we want to pull this, right?
No, you're okay with the law of identity because you're saying they're perpendicular. So you're fine with that.
Yeah, but I don't have to talk about that. The distinction here. Yeah, but the distinction here is that it's not relating to plumb. That's the whole point here. It doesn't care about plumb in this case, as Blue Marble said earlier.
That's not what I was. That's a non sequitur because I was just talking about the Euclidean principles.
Yes, now you were, but that's the whole reason why we brought up the machine, was that you have to set it up, and then set has to be plumb.
Yeah, but it has to be perpendicular to the X, Y, Z, however you set it up. Like all that.
It has to be perpendicular, but set doesn't have to be plumb.
Okay, but all the Euclidean principles is what.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I said I probably agree with you there. I don't fully obviously it follows this principle, but yeah, the whole point here was that it doesn't care about plumb. The axes are.
The whole point is there's no point. Have you ever set up any of these machines? Used any of these machines?
I've set up machines at school. Yeah, I didn't work with that afterwards, but yeah.
On these axes?
I mean, in those machines, we actually did. I don't think it relate. I cannot remember. I have to level it very carefully because it didn't really care about that. I think
like a telescope or anything like that. You set it up on the azimuthal
plane. I have set up telescope. Yeah, and I have
on the azimuthal plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's horizontal, right?
Yeah, that has to be set up in using plumb. Yeah, but this machine doesn't. The CMM.
You think not?
God.
Oh my God! You just explained it, and everybody agrees, and now you have to fuck up everything.
That bar has to be horizontal.
I disagree. I just explained to you.
X and Y?
You agree with me, Buster, and now you follow Bev. What's going on, Buster?
When you're going to the meta part of it, where within the programming, changing things, okay, fine. But when you're setting up the machine in reality, you have to have the X and Y as horizontal, setting it up.
But you just agree with me. There was no problem with it. Why are you going back on it? Oh my God.
No, what I'm saying is when you're saying within the programming part of it, switching things.
I didn't say that. I flipped the whole machine. I flipped the machine on the side. I lifted up on the side.
Nobody does that.
I know that nobody does it, but in practicality, you could do it, right? Theoretically, you could
I've never
do it.
seen that done. Like I've
I
never
know,
seen a
but
machine
what's the
set.
problem?
Has anybody ever dealt with anybody like this? Right, whenever you're having a conversation, you're talking about the machines and everything has to be set up on the horizontal, right, to make sure there's no slope, and then perpendicular to that is plumb, so the whole thing's all set up correctly. And then this guy says, and we know that nobody actually does it, but you mean you could set it up on a tilt with no purpose, no reason, but he's just sort of saying, but you could set it up on a tilt. Makes no sense, but you know, it's his part of the argument. This is how these people in these rooms imagine that they're arguing. It's like it goes nowhere. Round and round in circles.
What's the problem within the machine? How can you not understand that it only relates to the...
If I could, what I'd do is cut all of Funk out of the entire thing, like get him out of it. But because we're going through it, well, obviously we have to, you know, listen to it. And there's more nonsense comes out of Funk than anything, really. So I don't think it really needs to be listened to. There's literally nothing anybody can gain from ever listening to Funk. But I have to listen to it, so I'm going to put you guys through it as well.
The table.
Well, it's still
right?
no, it's not about the table. It still stands that Euclidean principle stand.
Now you're going back on it, Buster. Why?
I'm not. You still have to have a
Come back on
principle
anything.
of.
Yeah, but you can flip. You can flip the table. And still abide by the Euclidean principle. XYZ is perpendicular still. Aren't they?
Okay, fine.
It just
Yeah.
that X, Y, and Z is not or Z isn't plumb anymore. That's the only difference. But it doesn't care about plumb.
No. Wait. That's where I would disagree, because like if I set up a fence post, like the Z, I would still plumb it.
Okay, but this machine doesn't have to be plumb.
Yeah, but the table that the part sits on would be on the Z.
Yes, but if you flip the table, and you flip the table and the machine as a whole, as I said earlier, many times, as long as you flip everything, it doesn't matter within the machine, because to the machine, the Z is down towards the table.
See, this guy's never actually done any of this. Can you imagine, like a bandsaw, fucking table saw, theodolite, anything that has to be set up in a specific way? This guy just says you can flip it. Doesn't matter. Just flip it. Flip it. It's like Brian Lakey and his flipping walls over geos. It's nonsense. But there's a lot of people that have to deal with this sort of stuff in conversation. And it can affect you. If you stay in this too long, this stuff can affect you. You are going to listen over the next few days or whatever of the stuff that I'm going to go over. This is how you become affected by this arena. Hopefully we'll try and help you find a way to not be affected by it. You've got to be able to laugh, because this is quite fun. It is. It's not all bad. This is more fun than anything, really. And it's just unfortunate that this is Funk that's talking here. I don't ever want to talk to Funk, and I never did want to talk to Funk since we did it a few years ago. We worked out he's not changed. There's no difference coming from Funk from a few years ago. Listen to any one of those videos, you'll hear it. Pickled Rick, Morty Master. He's gone by a fair few names, but you know it's the same sort of conversation. Nothingness.
If you flip the table and the machine as a whole, the Z is still against going direct towards the table. What's the difference?
You said Z's down towards the table. Are you
Yeah.
talking about table being horizontal?
In the picture it is, but if I flip the whole machine and wouldn't set still, if set is still towards the table, does it have to change anything within the program? I cannot see why it would. It just relates to the table. It doesn't care about where plum is.
There's no table. Like if you can show a table that's set up with the
I don't have to show it, but I just explained to you why.
Like this would be your black swan. Like you could, if you showed a table, like somebody setting up a CMM table with it being on the Z.
But you don't understand what I'm saying? Is that what you're saying?
No,
I have to show it to you?
See, you should have had me on that one. We're making a song.
On the Z.
But you don't understand.
There you go.
But you don't understand what.
Oh, sorry, I have to cut all of these bits out. For the song, wait until Blue gets on it. It's going to be loads of bits cut out for Blue.
And what I'm saying, is that what you're saying?
No,
I have to show it to you.
I didn't say I didn't understand. I'm saying if
and
you
what's
could
the problem?
The problem is you could show that table set up on the Z.
But you understood it. I don't have to show it to you if you understood what I explained to you. Like maybe they let's say the programmer somehow included plum in the program.
Wait. We're
but
talking
if it
over
didn't,
each other.
I don't see any problem with it.
You're talking about a program. I'm talking about reality, and you have made that distinction multiple times within this conversation for the last like 2 hours. You've made the distinction of a program and reality. I'm talking about reality. That table.
I tell you to flip the whole machine and the table in reality?
I'm telling you to show me that table flipped in reality.
Why do I have to do that? It's you understand what I'm saying. What do you don't you understand? If set is towards the table.
He's just talking about setting something up. And then saying, well, just flip it. Just flip it. Buster's saying, why would you want to do that? Show me why they would want to do that. And he's saying, well, they don't have to do it. Just imagine it. There's a lot of imaginometry involved in all of these particular conversations.
If I flip the whole machine with the table, wouldn't set still be towards the table? Why don't you understand that?
Because you're not showing me a table flip in reality.
He's metaphorically flipping tables at you, Buster.
It's not metaphorically. You can. I can lift the table.
No, you don't. I don't.
This is like a trivial thing. I don't have to show you this.
Okay, trivial. I agree with, but like,
are we live?
It's in the mind. Yes. I'm asking you to show me a table like that.
Okay, dokie.
Why?
Because you're saying that happens in reality. I think maybe.
When I explained it, how I explained it to you, wouldn't that happen in reality? Why wouldn't it change?
Because that table that is set up in reality, the computer program that you're talking about changing the coordinate system is different than that table set up in reality.
But in this case, it doesn't change anything in the program. if I'm telling you,
It's
if
very boring, this
if
bit.
Z in the program
You have
is
to
the
get
same
through
as the
these
machine,
bits.
it's just relating to
I'm
just moving
not-
that spike where it measures,
I'm not
where its
disagreeing
position
with
is.
you.
If that
I'm-
is straight down towards the table, that's the only reference it has. It has
I'm-
only I move
Sort
towards
of
the table.
spoils all
If
of
I
these
flip the whole machine,
conversations.
wouldn't how would
I
it
think
understand that
somebody
Z
like
was
this
flipped?
doing this sort of stuff.
doesn't.
Don't give
There are
don't give
center
me
points.
just don't give me a what if. I don't
I-
disagree with you on the mechanics of how a computer program works. Not
Then it should
disagreeing with
make
that.
sense what I'm
No.
saying to you.
No, I'm asking you to show me a table of a CMM table that's flipped on its side.
Why do I have to do that if you understand it? If you
Because
understand
it's reality.
every part of it.
It's
Damn.
reality.
Yes, I know it is. I'm talking about reality, but like I can, for example, picture a tree somewhere. I don't have to show you that tree for you to be able to picture a tree somewhere. Like if I tell you, let's say you live in a field, and then there is no
Listen
trees
to
around you,
this.
and then I say, picture what if there was a tree outside your window? It's like I can't do that. You have to plant the
Show-
tree there and show it to me.
No,
Like
show me a
obviously
tree
I don't have to.
growing.
You can imagine what that would look like,
Shh.
right?
See, this I think is what you have to deal with. Is people imagining things and then wanting you to imagine what they're imagining. And then they come up with their conclusions, right? Because they imagine that you're imagining the same thing that they're imagining. But it's just people imagining shit. Imaginometry's a real thing. And he's explaining it here. Just imagining trees outside so you can imagine trees. With no purpose to the argument. He just wants you to imagine something.
Show me a tree
It's kind of
growing
ridiculous what you're saying,
perfectly
Buster, to be honest.
perpendicular to reality.
Do you understand the argument, Buster?
Oh, no, that might have been good. There was even a little bit of a whistle in there, wasn't there?
To reality.
Do you understand the argument, Buster?
Whoa, and the That's good because we're talking about Blue Marble Science's argument. This is how we make the Buster classic songs you don't understand.
Do you understand the argument, Buster?
That's a beauty. That's a beauty. Listen to it again one more time before I put it in the thing.
Do you understand the argument, Buster?
Do you understand the argument, Buster? Blue Marble won't be watching, don't worry. Oh, come on. That must be boring for you guys listening to that. Oh, it's not copying. Paste it, you bugger. Why is it not fucking pasting it? Let me make sure I've got the right bit.
Do you understand the argument, Buster?
Right, copy. And I want to paste it. Jolly good. I got it that time. I guess he's got his teeth in there. Little whistle.
Do you understand the argument, Buster?
What argument?
The simple argument that the orientation of the machine doesn't make any difference. That's the only argument.
What's the argument? What is that argument?
What argument?
The simple argument that the orientation of the machine doesn't make any difference.
The orientation of the machine doesn't make any difference. Is that just for that machine? Or does it work for all machines? Because I would imagine a Coke dispenser or something like that would matter what the orientation of that was.
That's the only argument. Nobody says they lay CMMs on their side.
Wait, what
that
was
would
the
be stupid.
Wait,
nobody says that. We're
was
saying
the
that
argument?
the axis that the CMM machine is using is inherent to the machine. It is not based on any external reference frame, just itself. That's all. So its orientation doesn't make any difference.
Well,
what if you spin the machine 90 degrees?
What
If you leave the table horizontal and just spin the machine 90 degrees? Now you flip the X and Y axis.
No, Beth. Blue, give me the argument.
Great example. I didn't think about that.
Blue, give me the argument. That's the table. Like,
yeah, I am. If I take the table, I set a part up on the table.
If I take the
and
table,
then I rotate the machine, leaving the table level, just rotate it 90 degrees. Have I changed anything? Will the machine still measure? Will the machine still work? Will it still give you exactly the same measurement that you got previously? Of course,
that's not an argument. That's an arbitrary question.
We're just pointing out to you that the orientation of that axis of that Cartesian system machine is using
chord line is what you could
itself.
call a horizontal if you wanted to.
Shut up, Bev.
That was me using the soundboard. They have since tightened up controls of the soundboard over there, and now you are not allowed to do that. No use of the soundboard over there allowed. You can in there on the level. We have an active soundboard. It's just people that don't tend to use it that much while we are live, but I do think we have one of the most entertaining soundboards for this arena, and anybody's used. If you come into the server, you'll be able to have use of that soundboard in other places if you've got Nitro Discord.
Yeah, but that's not an argument. You said if.
Okay, all right, I got it.
You said if.
I got it, Buster. You do not understand what's being said. That's fine.
Horizontal chord line, tangent plane.
Is that the coordination system in a 3D machine?
Holy shit!
It has a point of origin, yes. It has a point of origin.
If somebody has an argument, then present it. But other than that, the table.
Yeah, but the argument was presented to you, but you said we have to demonstrate.
So, like, I didn't realize that Buster may have queued Blue Marble up for that. If somebody's got an argument, present it. Might have to clip that.
Yeah, but the argument was presented to you, but you said we have to demonstrate it, even though you understood the argument.
What was the argument?
Like, what if every debate was like this? You have to debate about.
Right, where was that clip? Did I miss it?
Holy shit!
It has a point of origin, yes. It has a point of origin.
If somebody has an argument, then present it.
Beautiful.
If somebody has.
That's so good.
If somebody has an argument, then present it.
Beautiful.
Somebody has an argument, then present it. But other than that, the table.
Yeah, but the argument was presented to you, but you said we have to demonstrate it, even though you understood the argument.
What was the argument? You have
Like,
to
what if
present an
every
argument.
debate was like this? You have to debate about something in reality, and then you have to go and actually.
You actually have to present an argument, and that's what Buster's going on about now. Nobody ever presents any arguments. They just imagine that whatever they think is going on in their heads is some sort of an argument, but there never is an argument. Never.
Prove it in reality for the argument to be like, obviously people can comprehend. No, that's
You
not how the
just
debate
posted
works.
a picture. You just posted a picture of a CMM table laid out horizontally, and then you can have whatever coordinate system mathematically in that system. Like
So
I
you're
was
not
agreeing with all
able
that
to
stuff.
understand any argument, what if argument. You cannot understand any what if argument. If I tell you,
give me an
like
argument.
general context, like let's say I have like let's say you have learned a lot of math, but I could probably pick two numbers and tell you to add them together, and then I said I could do that, but you telling me I need to demonstrate that that's true because that specific example I haven't showed you. You can't like generalize it, right?
That
As a
sounds
broad.
That sounds like nothing like an argument. So like carry on. But if you have an argument, then we'll go on. Carry
But
on.
you were presented with an
Blue
argument.
tried to do an argument, but he failed. If you want to try to do an argument, that
Christ.
was terrible.
No, you completely misunderstood everything that's been
You
said
said
so far.
if, then if, and nothing.
Oh, this is Buster. Buster's helped Blue make this argument much more than me. All credit to Buster queuing Blue Marble Science up to make an argument.
Yeah, but that's part of an argument. It's part of.
We ask it a different way. Could we ask? Could we rotate the coordinate system around the center point or origin?
It's like when you have like a premise. If you have a premise, how do you think they are built up? Premise, conclusion. How do you think they are built up, Buster? Typically, like an example.
Oh, this is good, isn't it? I'm gonna have to leave it in there, this bit. I would like to cut him out, but they're trying to formulate an argument.
You guys said you had an argument. I'm waiting for an argument.
Oh, I might have to have that clipped as well.
You guys said you had an argument. I'm waiting for an argument.
This is going to be a good one. Ooh, that was close.
Premise, conclusion. How do you think they are built up, Buster? Typically, like an example.
You guys said you had an argument. I'm waiting for an argument.
So I'm going to use some like basic examples. If all Greeks are humans, then all humans are mortal.
What is that?
Right? Like, did you hear that? He's tried to formulate an argument. This is genius. Buster's put him under pressure.
So I'm going to use some like basic examples. If all Greeks are humans, then all humans are mortal.
Listen to that again.
If all Greeks are humans, then all humans are mortal.
He literally said that. Again? You want to listen to it again? This is Funk attempting to make an argument.
If all Greeks are humans, then all humans are mortal.
If all Greeks are humans, then all humans are immortal. I mean, should we check his P's and Q's for that one? Does it even need considering, right? If you know you're in a room and somebody says something like that, do you even need to contemplate what that was that he just said? Or do you just sort of... what does your brain do when you hear that? Like, imagine you're on a Discord server and, you know, you're talking about people. Buster's asked him, God knows how many times, to make an argument. And then he says this. He says...
If all Greeks are humans, then all humans are immortal.
What do you do? What does your brain do when it hears that? Does it try and process it, or does it just automatically know? It just sounds like nonsense. Do you actually hear it? Did it go in? It's fucking crazy. If all humans are Greek, or if all Greeks are humans, do you want to check it again? I don't know which way round it was. Don't know whether it matters.
If all Greeks are humans, then all humans are immortal.
Yeah, if all Greeks are humans, then all humans are immortal. And anybody else? What do you reckon? Do you reckon anybody else is going to pull him up on that and say anything? Let's listen.
What is that?
What? Just me and Buster. Somebody clip that.
And then that's the premise.
Somebody clip that.
Wait,
Totally globe.
Bev,
that was fucking
Bev.
genius.
No, that was reducto ad absurdum. So okay.
Yeah. Me and Buster took that. I mean, it is good. Does it need clipping? What sort of stuff do you actually get out of that?
If all Greeks are humans, then all humans are immortal.
I mean, it is classic, but I mean, I don't know why we should keep it in the... I'll copy it. I'll put it in there. Maybe for an end thing as a sign off. Don't think it deserves to be in the main body of this work. It is completely globe, though, right?
Humans,
Totally
then all
globe.
humans are immortal.
What is that?
What? Somebody clip that.
And then that's the premise.
Somebody
That was,
clip that.
Wait,
Totally
no,
globe. That was fucking
Bev.
genius.
No, that was reducto ad absurdum. So okay.
That's good. Go on, do that again.
If all Greeks are human, then all humans are mortal. And all humans are mortal. Are all Greeks mortal?
Sounded like you said immortal. You did say
you
immortal.
definitely
Immortal.
have no
I said
idea what
mortal.
an argument it is.
That's the premise, right? That's the premise, and then the conclusion is that all Greeks would be mortal.
Whoa.
I say if there, but are you unable to understand that argument? I just took an example. If you want to disagree, I just took an example from argument on Wikipedia.
I don't think you read it right. Go try
If
it again.
all Greeks are human and all humans are mortal, all Greeks would be immortal.
Still
And
don't
that's
think
the
you read it
premise.
right.
And the premise would
Keep
be if
saying
all Greeks are
immortal.
human, right? If that's true, how would you say that? But you can that's the argument. That's the premise. But you don't have to understand. You don't have to relate to the truth of the premise to understand that. But you don't have to understand. You don't have to. You don't have to.
fact, I'm having to cut all of the you don't understand out for Buster's thing, obviously. Oh, it's because I keep messing about with that, isn't it? Well, it's just going to have to take ages, isn't it? You can talk about anything if you want. It's this is what we have to sort of deal with this sort of stuff. There's quite a lot of this sort of stuff that has to be dealt with when you're talking, and you have to go through all of these different steps in order to have the conversation. Obviously, Funk here he's just a blocker. He's got nothing in an argument or anything, but he's stopping us from having a conversation with other people. This is what appears in these rooms, and you just get used to listening to nonsense being talked until eventually you leave you leave the room, because there's a lot of this, but occasionally there's some good stuff, and going over it, obviously.
Premise, but you don't have to understand. You don't have to relate to the truth of the premise to understand it, right?
Well, can you relate this to your changing orientations? Try that.
Could you rotate a coordinate system around its origin?
Somebody else comes
and
in.
It would still be valid?
Say that again?
I said we're talking about those machines. The coordinate system has a center, it has an origin.
Okay.
And if you rotate the machine, it's still, or rotate if you rotate the machine, this coordinate system will rotate with it.
Wait, are you going to try to set the machine up on its side too?
No, he's just rotating it around the vertical he's talking about there. Just
No, the origin.
Origin, no, he's talking about the origin. Like he's trying to set the table up on its side.
Well, I'm not turning it on the side. I'm just
tilt.
Changing the direction. Instead of it being going from east to west, I just turn it around and goes west to east.
Yeah, turning it about the vertical.
So you still have the X and Y. You still
No,
have X and Y the same.
Yeah, turn it around the vertical, or you could turn it around the other way.
Yeah, you can just orientate it on the horizontal plane anyway, right?
If you're oriented, if you put it on the side, the machine would use the same existing coordinate system, and it does not care about what is up or down or horizontal. It just goes by the coordinate system of which it is set up.
I would say you guys have the perfect black swan setup.
Yeah. You don't know what a black swan is.
I don't understand.
I know.
It's hard. I don't understand.
Thank you.
I don't understand.
You don't understand.
I know.
It's hard. It's hard.
I know. There's global proof in these conversations, right?
No, it's not. It's like when I have to.
That's nothing to do with the globe, does it?
Yeah.
No, nothing.
It doesn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah,
It's just have to do with.
I think I
it has to do with like math.
I can get Dave Weiss with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's odd to me because I explained like the I explained everything to you, and you said you understood it.
Yeah, it's a has to situation, right?
And then I
be.
also asked you earlier, right? And then I asking you guys, if you were to flip the machine and then you agree with every part of it, the only difference is if the machine was flipped. And then I asked you, is it impossible to flip the machine? The only thing that is, it's not impossible to flip machine. The machine could be flipped, right?
Who could say whether it is impossible or it isn't impossible?
Yeah. So if that's possible, then what does the coordinate, like, wouldn't the coordinate system, it doesn't care about plumb, right?
Work.
In this case. Yeah.
In fact, if you were attempting
you guys agree
to
on
move
every
it
part,
or
but then
budget,
you
right, I'd say you get in
with...
serious trouble. But I mean, that's probably why it's impossible to say whether you can flip it or you can't flip it, because they always seem to set it up under convention, don't they?
Obviously, yeah, but you can flip it, and if you were,
right?
and if you were to flip it, the machine would still work.
You think they change the coordinate system every time they set the machine up?
It's an egocentric coordinate system. Why would they need to?
Do you think they do?
Yeah, exactly. Why would they change it?
They use horizontal and vertical being perpendicular.
Well,
yeah, that's it.
I put a picture of one in the general chat. Which way do you think the coordinate system is oriented there?
Probably Cartesian coordinate system.
No shit, Sherlock.
I bet that we have that as well. Could have been better with a whistle.
Well,
yeah, that's it.
I put a picture of one in the general chat. Which way do you think the coordinate system is oriented there?
Probably Cartesian coordinate system.
No shit, Sherlock.
Oh, yes.
No shit, Sherlock.
I'll have to cut me out of it at the end.
Which way do you think the coordinate system is oriented there?
I bet they'd have it orientated to the horizontal and vertical, wouldn't they?
What do you think? The table's the XY plane and the Z-axis is up and down?
I wouldn't have a clue. Where are we looking?
Well, would that work?
In live chat, I don't know. I can't see it.
Well, it's in general chat.
Where is, I can't find it either.
Okay, I'll move it to live chat since you guys can't go to general chat.
I can't see it.
Well, sorry. I thought we are in the live chat, so should we not be using the live chat text?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter for me, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
Doesn't follow.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, I would imagine when they set that up, Blue, they will put the table on the horizontal plane.
Well, wait a minute. XY axis, is that what you mean by the horizontal plane?
Yeah.
So the XY axis is the table.
The table would be on the horizontal plane, yes. I don't know what you call the axis. Okay. I haven't got a clue.
Do you think the x-axis is moving left and right, and the y-axis is?
I haven't got a clue. I don't know the orientation the picture's been taken.
Well, would that work?
I haven't got a clue.
Well, would that work if we made the x-axis?
I don't know whether you've turned the picture upside down or anything.
I haven't got a clue about that. I'm just asking a simple question.
I would say if they were setting that up, they would put the table. The table would be a horizontal, right?
Okay, the x-axis is left and right. The y-axis is in and out of the screen. The z-axis is up and down.
That's what I would imagine, yes. That's convention.
All right. The machine is now facing that back wall. What if we turn the machine and it's facing the wall on the left? Turn the machine 90
Still
degrees.
A horizontal plane, and the vertical would still
Have we
be vertical.
Have we changed the axes?
No, you just took a picture from the other side.
Now the x-axis
You've
is running
moved.
in and out of the page, and the y-axis is running across the page.
Yeah, but it was you that moved, Blue.
No, he
To
flipped
take
the
the
machine.
picture.
I
He
just
said he
rotated
flipped
the
the
machine.
machine.
Took
I
to
just
the other
rotated the
side
machine
and took a
90
picture
degrees.
from
I'm
the other
showing you
side.
that it doesn't make any difference, Bev.
Yeah,
The
it's
orientation
the
of the machine
horizontal
has
and
nothing to
vertical is
do
still the
with
same.
horizontal or
Yes.
vertical.
I think that's what we've been saying.
The orientation of the fucking machine has nothing to do with horizontal and vertical.
Exactly.
Not a fucking
So
thing.
you can do whatever you want with the axis mathematically in your mind. You can flip the X and the Y and the Z, whatever you want. Like just pick the letters off like magnetic things and flip them around. You can
No.
change
You go
them.
back on what
You
you
can
said
make them
earlier.
whatever you want,
No,
but you're
Bev,
not
no matter
going
wh-
to affect
no, Bev,
the
no, Bev,
horizontal
no matter,
and vertical
no, Bev,
in
no matter
reality.
how
That's
you
the point.
orient the machine, its axes have not changed. No
Blue,
matter how you orient it.
Blue, this is your black swan. If you can show a machine set up with the Z as the horizontal, man, game over. I mean, well, maybe
It
not.
won't be horizontal to the machine. Do you not understand that?
If you set the machine up as the Z on its side as the horizontal,
That you don't get to do that. The machine already has its axes built into it. You don't get to tell it which way the axis
well,
is.
you have to get with a guy on that, or a guy, because he
What?
had the machine set up on its side.
I could.
You can.
Yeah,
And
it doesn't
as far as this
matter.
axis is concerned,
It's right. This thing is it's how you get pulled into conversations. There's literally a conversation going on here about the Cartesian axis, X, Y, Z, and how that relates to setting machines up in reality. And we're saying that horizontal and vertical, like, they're part of reality. So you're not going to change them, no matter what you do with the axis. Whether you tilt the axis or any of these things, if your imagined Cartesian coordinate system, because they would be aligned with horizontal and vertical, but these guys have got something wrong with it for some reason. I don't know why they'd want to flip it or turn it or do anything. The machine's set up, it's horizontal, and most machines that you set up will be set up horizontal. In reality, there's no problem with any of these things, but for these guys, there's something wrong with it. They have to argue, and I don't know why. It's about stuff that occurs in reality. It's madness.
concerned, nothing changed. Its z-axis is no longer what you look at as being vertical. That's all.
Yeah. The fact
The
that you
entire
think when
coordinate
me
system
and Blue
rotated.
Marble is disagreeing, you clearly don't understand what I'm saying.
Doesn't matter. Euclidean principle's still saying.
No shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
And you can actually
Blue.
flip
Hey,
it,
that
and
was
it wouldn't
pretty
matter,
good.
right?
Well, I might have to keep that bit.
Doesn't matter. Euclidean principle's still saying.
No shit.
Yes. That's clean as well. Blue is going to be a superstar with a Buster soundtrack.
Doesn't matter. Euclidean principle's still saying.
No shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
And you can actually
Blue.
flip it, and it wouldn't matter, right?
Why?
Yeah, Eric, I don't. There's no point to what they're arguing about. These guys, over the next few whatever, if you want to come into the Globe Gangsters, go and join in, and you'll get to listen to nonsense. It's not even arguing. There's literally no point to any of it. I don't know. I think they're losing their minds myself.
Why is it anytime you guys get stuck on something, the first thing that comes out of your mouth is
Who's getting stuck on what?
Nobody's getting
You
stuck
guys
on
are
anything.
imagining there's some sort of a problem somewhere. There is no problem. We all understand.
There's no problem. So you
can't
can't
do
flip the
fuck all with
machine on
horizontal
its side.
and vertical in reality.
You
So
have
you
can
can
flip the
fuck
machine
about
on
with
its
whatever
side.
you want.
It's
Poor old Euclid is
perpendicular.
always your excuse.
Yeah. So we can.
wonder
So
if-
then we don't disagree. We can flip the machine on its sides, and the machine will work
I don't
perfectly
know.
fine. That's fine.
I wouldn't have a clue.
Are
You'd
you
have
just
to
agree?
test that theory.
You just no, you agreed.
You'd have to.
You just
You
agreed.
showed
Don't go
no,
back on
no,
that.
a guy. You showed a picture of the table.
We had no
with it.
arguments. We had no disagreement on that. We could do whatever the fuck you want, and it will work, right? You can flip
You-
the machine on its side, and it
You
will still
guys,
work.
you guys said you had an argument.
This guy, whoever he is, he's never done anything like this, never set any of these tools up or whatever, but you can flip it on its side and it'll still work. In his mind, that's some sort of a conclusion to some argument that he's got, and I can't see what the argument was in the first place as to why flipping the machine on its side would mean anything anyway. I mean, with like what did you conclude? Unless you want to get to Tis Globe. Flip the machine on its side, it still works. Therefore, Tis Globe. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it?
We didn't say we had an argument.
I
It
mean,
was just-
so now you're going back on it. I don't understand where you're going with this.
didn't say I had an argument. I was just saying we're just pointing out things. We're agreeing on more things than you think.
So, and I don't understand. You'll have to. Somebody should have called that one out.
Didn't say I had an argument. I was just saying we're just pointing out things. We're agreeing on more things than you think.
I
It
mean,
was just-
so now you're going back on it. I don't understand where you're going with
It's not. Is that cleaning up? I mean, it is funk, isn't it? We've got too many of them.
it. I don't understand where you're going
Oh, yeah, I don't think we need
with
that.
this.
didn't say I had an argument. I was just saying we're just pointing out things. We're agreeing on more things than you think.
Except that that set has to be a plum.
Well, you said Zeb was plum earlier.
It could be. You don't
Could
understand
be.
you don't understand what I'm saying, Buster. If you have
Oh, that was a bit clearer, wasn't it?
to understand what I'm saying, you don't understand. You don't understand what I'm.
You don't understand. You don't understand. Does anybody understand what the sort of their point is? What's their argument? What are they trying to get at? Because if you have people that keep telling you that you don't understand stuff, and could that be gaslighting? Particularly if he's talking nonsense. I mean, are you meant to understand it? Could you possibly understand any of this stuff?
You don't understand
be.
what You don't understand what I'm saying, Buster. If you have to,
You don't
if you have to say that.
understand. Nice.
No, he said set has to be a plum. That's what
Actually
he
wrote
told
the
me. I
song
never
on
said
that.
that.
I actually
Did
wrote
I
a
ever
song on that,
say
but,
set
like,
has to be a plum?
You said Zeb was plum earlier, but like, hey,
Yeah.
you also said Zeb was horizontal. So
I have to mute Bev if
Bev, don't trash the VC like that, please.
yeah.
trash, dude.
Yeah,
that was
trash.
me. Oh,
But
come on, Blue.
Buster,
Yeah, but
Buster,
yeah.
if didn't I just say earlier, this axis were a convention?
What they did was, because Blue, one thing you can't do is upset Blue Marble Science in the Globe Gangster thing. He got, Emma got special roles because Blue Marble said that. Mike Jones got banned because Blue Marble Science wanted him out of there. And yeah, obviously, Blue Marble didn't like us playing that Buster clip on the soundboard, so now we're not allowed to use the soundboard over there. Blue Marble's, you know, he's helping out, like, to stop people. It's a killjoy, is it? Is that what you call it? Killjoy. Yeah.
As long as the whole, as long as every object inside the coordinate system are holding like the same orientation in relation to each other.
He's still
What
the axes are
convention does everybody use to set machines up with?
X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z.
Now, what the convention does everybody in the entire world use to
They
set
use
machines?
X, Y, Z.
Exactly.
Are you claiming
yeah.
that you have to set the axis up
And-
in that machine?
Yeah.
To use it? Are
Do you
really
not have
claiming
to
that?
set the axis up, or do you not have to set the machine up initially?
Are you claiming you
get the
have to do
axis
something
right?
to set the axis of the machine up?
Do you not have to set the machine up initially?
You have to
I asked you a
explain where
specific
X and Y
question.
is.
Tell me
I
what you
asked you
do.
a specific. I asked you
Tell me
a
what you
specific
do with that
question.
machine to change its axis.
Well, let's set the machine up first, Blue.
All right.
What do you do to
Now
set the
what?
machine up first?
Now what? How do you set the axis?
No, let's set the machine up first.
Okay. What do you do to set the machine up? Tell me.
I'm asking you. That was my
You don't
question to
know,
you.
Buster?
What's me saying?
You're the guy that claims to know all about this. Go ahead, Buster. Tell us what you do to set the machine up.
Is it?
It's
It's
a
the
massive
internal coordinate
subversal.
system.
Nicely done.
No.
Yeah, did everybody hear that? Because what Buster just did was ask Blue Marble a question, and Blue Marble reversed it on him. Asked him the same question back again, because he hasn't got an answer. So he has to return it right back on Buster. It's amazing. I don't know whether people notice these sort of things or not. Or whether, you know, like people have been led into it or not. Whether this is specific to this particular arena or not, I don't know.
They went through this whole thing about the machine on its side and the coordinate system could flip. And it was so weird. I'm still thinking, there's no machine that's ever set up on its side. Yeah, I was kind of like you. I was like, what was the point of it?
Yeah, what were they doing? Didn't make any sense. It was like an hour or so, wasn't it? Going round in circles, going nowhere. And then you say, well, how would you set the machine up? And he goes, well, how would you, Buster? How would you? Crazy.
And that's the thing. They all know there's no, I think I say it later. You can show a black swan if somebody setting the machine up on its side. I mean, I guess, but I've never seen it. Never heard of it.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's dead easy for them to do those sort of things. Like Black Swan, the shit out of it. But they don't know what a Black Swan is. They don't know what the arguments are. They've not really got a clue. You've got to feel sorry for them after all of these years. Because they've been going up against Flat Earthers, and the Flat Earthers have been playing games as well at the same time. They've all led each other into this crazy stuff.
This is the internal coordinate system of the machine.
We are saying
on the
that,
exterior.
Well,
yeah,
no,
we are
wait.
saying that, but
Wait,
Buster's
okay,
claiming,
hang on.
claiming
A
X, Y
guy,
somehow.
to me-
a guy. Wait.
Mike.
A guy says, no, wait, Stefan, you're late to the party. A guy says you can set the machine up with the Z being horizontal. So, like, let's ask a guy how you'd set the machine up, like on that X, Y, Z.
You don't set in Z.
There's nothing you do
when
to the machine.
that's not nobody does that when you
Nobody,
buy the machine.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody does
That's
that.
the
So, like, when
programmer
you're-
who has to do that.
Okay,
the
okay,
person
so exactly.
who develops the machine.
Nobody would set the machine up with the table on the Z. Like,
Yeah, but I didn't
obviously.
say that the person the operator of the machine obviously he doesn't know how to program, right? So he can't.
You got
he
the
can't do that.
machine. You've walked in.
But
You got the
Buster, you're
machine.
being
You're gonna
you're being
set it
dishonest.
up.
I have to correct you.
I'm not gonna
Because
be.
what I
I'm
said
not being
earlier, right?
dishonest. This is
It's the
nothing dishonest.
I said the
about this. Like,
programmer
you'd
can
come in.
program
You'd
Z
come
to
in
be
with the
anything.
machine, and you'd have a table, and you'd have this table that's made out of, I don't know.
Yeah, you have to
like,
be dishonest and
A
lie.
lot of them
being
are made out of
dishonest.
granite.
Argument.
Probably granite. Okay, blue granite. Like you got this granite table of this machine. How are you gonna set that up? I mean, I know how I would set it up.
Go ahead, tell us.
Is there any sensors inside those machines that relates it to
No,
Plum?
it doesn't matter about the sensors. Like that's totally irrelevant.
So it's independent. So the
this.
coordinate system can be independent
No,
of Plum.
that granite table is what is the like that's the
You have to remember here as well, there's 3, let's say adults, but I mean, there's Stefan Mudd, who's not young, right? You've got Blue Marble, who's in his 70s, and Funk, which, don't know, he's supposedly a student, but I think he's been a lifelong student doing stuff. It's hard to tell. But there's 3 of them, and I'm still with Eric. I haven't got a clue what they're trying to do. They're trying to flip tables for some reason and convince you that that they could still work when they're not set up the way that they would conventionally be set up. It's crazy. Don't even know what they're doing. And I don't know why they're doing it. That's the thing, mainly. Struggling to work out why they're so... call it argumentative, but there's no argument coming from them. It's mad. It's just madness.
what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry.
Base.
The base, yeah, like that's your base. Like that's your go to. Oh God, totally blanking on the words.
Foundation.
People helping Buster with words. That's not usual.
Yeah, that's your. Oh God. Anyway, the base of that
Could not
granite
think of-
table.
Yeah.
That was it, base. I was
reference.
like, for some
That's
reason, I just like blanked.
The granite table is your reference. How do you set that granite table up for the machine?
Does it really
Granite
matter?
tables. You think he's going to set it up on the vertical or what?
Go
Like
to
crazy.
a guy. I guess it doesn't.
Let's say if you set it up so it was tilting a bit, would that matter?
Ask a guy. He obviously
Well,
would set
you
the
know
granite
it's
table.
tilting. Like you
Yes, I do.
referenced it as
No,
tilting.
Oh Jesus Christ! For
Would
fuck's sake,
it be
I
a
asked
problem if it's
question.
not perfectly level?
Yeah.
That's what he asked.
If it's not perfectly level, the coordinate system within the machine will still be the same.
Would it?
The machine doesn't care what is
Why
up
would
and
it?
down.
Tell me, why would it care about Plum? Why would it care about Plum?
No idea.
So if you come in
There's
with a,
no
if you-
reason why it
wait,
would
wait,
relate to
a
Plum.
guy,
It only relates
a guy.
to the only thing it's gonna relate to is the table.
a guy like you come in with a granite table and you're saying this is the table. Like I'm this granite table salesman, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
set it up. Like you could make quite a bit of money if you come in and say, hey, it doesn't matter what your program, like the program in your machine, like I'm just going to put this table, I'm just going to set it up, and you can just like go at it like after you put the CMM on this granite table. Like you could just go in and set it at any orientation you want to.
In theory, yes. The machine's coordinate system will not be
like,
affected.
Like I'm handing you like a business where you could go in and just go set up granite tables.
Yeah,
for
but this is
CMM
not
machines.
nothing to do with what
plug
is
and play system.
practical,
You just
right?
Plug it in.
Nobody
Yeah.
is saying here it's not very
Doesn't need
practical
setting
to
up
have
or
a huge
anything.
granite
It's just
table
all
set
down
up
to
on the
the
side.
coordinate system.
No, like no.
Thank
you
you for
go, you go,
changing.
no, you
the-
go to a granite, like you go to a stone yard. You start making your own granite tables. You go into these like factories, and you set up a granite table, and you set up in any rotation you want. And you say, hey, you just set your robotic system on it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I just set this granite table in here, and you just.
You're not yet to explain why it would matter. Yes, you have yet to explain why it would matter.
No, because you just set it down. Doesn't matter.
That's right.
Yeah. And you have to explain why it would matter. I explained to you why it wouldn't matter, because the Z would be towards the table.
It does matter in reality. You have to set these tools up.
No,
You've just made a system where you don't need to do anything. Well, your system
I explained you why.
defines its own coordinate system.
In reality, it doesn't matter.
What these systems? You don't think these systems require a setup?
They don't require to be perfectly level now.
I think we're thinking of different types of things.
Why would it ever? Explain to me why it would.
Are we talking about the CMM and the CNC type machines?
CMM, why would it?
Two totally different things, Bill.
Yeah, I know, but they all require the same coordinate system, don't they?
Maybe the next time you bring up something, Buster, you talk about a machine that you know something about, because obviously you don't know anything about it.
But you're saying it doesn't require a coordinate system to be able to be
It has its own coordinate system.
It assigns its own, yeah. These are plug-and-play systems.
What I'm saying is...
It has its own internal coordinate system, which is independent of the exterior of the machine.
So that's what I was saying. You could come in with a granite table. I'm telling a guy he could make a lot of money coming in with a granite table and just
it has nothing to do with me making money, Buster. What the fuck are you talking about?
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter how much money I can make off something. This is not a business proposal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So anybody could come in with a granite table, just set it up and go, there you go, granite table, bam. The
machine itself. I wish you guys could just explain to us why it matters, because nobody has said anything. You just say, "Oh, but anybody can just do it," and that's your argument. You're saying nothing.
It doesn't matter. Why is the
amazing
proof on us?
I explained to you why. If you
go on, I've got it. Yeah, go on.
It's amazing, this stuff. Hopefully my signal doesn't cut out. But it's amazing, these things. They think these machines are far superior than what you do for your reference. That was my point without trying to say it, trying to leave that into me. They keep asking, why does it matter? Well, Larry, was it a couple days internal workings of a piano, like, they're doing.
Yeah, I think we missed that. Yeah, breaking up a bit. Bad signal. Yeah, he was. Not quite. Nearly.
What?
Yeah. Go on.
What about now? Sorry, I was trying to point out that they have these machines that are they have the workings of a machine and a program. Didn't need a reference. I'll try later. Sorry.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. He's on his way back from work or way to work. I think on his way back from work. Got the drive. So,
a little bit.
Yeah, I think what he's trying to set up, I'll try and give you a little bit of a setup before you, because you'll be back soon, won't you? We went over there the other day, and they've got this idea that the machines can establish vertical and vertical, I think it is, isn't it? More accurately than the plumb bob. I think that's what he's trying to get at. It's really weird the way that their thought process goes, and I don't want to sort of say these sort of things. Really, I'd rather you guys actually hear them say it, So yeah, I have got a load of conversations and a load of things that we can go over. Probably there won't be that many people watching because, you know, these are the conversations that I don't know whether people are interested in hearing them. I think they want to hear, I don't know, nonsense, really. I think they'd rather hear nonsense, but I mean, you get a chance to hear the nonsense in these conversations as well. And Betty's over there helping them with the thingy, because we got Betty over there in the Globe Gangster channel. We're trying to get all of the Globe Gangsters together, so if you do identify as a Globe Gangster, then there's a Discord channel for you. Get over there. We're going to see whether we can have a group effort. We sent a couple of the Globe guys from Globe Gangsters went over to go and talk to Nathan Oakley when he was doing his live thing, and that's what upset Nathan Oakley, that the flat earthers allowed these people to get in, and how dare they talk to Nathan Oakley. Can you imagine that? Nathan, somebody allowed a Glober to actually talk to Nathan Oakley in one of these meetups while he's doing his presentations. The nerve of them. I'm sure they did it just to wind him up. I mean, not the Globers, right? Because the Globers went there to ask him questions. They paid the £5 and went in to go and ask him a question. It's what you have to deal with. So yeah, Globe Gangsters. These are the conversations that you know. If you think you could come and join in on the 3-coordinate axis sort of XYZ Cartesian coordinate thing, if you could let us know what they're talking about. Well,
and you even understood it, but you somehow demand a demonstration even though you understand the argument.
You have a what's your reference?
You understood it. Was that good enough? No, I don't think so. Yeah, we're saying even down to telescopes and shit. You have to orientate them to these.
Yeah, but the telescope
things.
is looking at the sky.
The thing that you're imagining doesn't
I can
need
explain
that.
to you why. I can explain to you why I need to orientate.
Well, most things are replacing, but you're thinking of something that doesn't, obviously.
I can explain to you why I need to level my equatorial mount, because the equatorial mount, when I tilt it, I tilt it towards the axis of rotation with the Earth, and for that to work, I need to have it. I need to have the axis exactly at the axis of the Earth. Otherwise, the equatorial mount won't be able to track the stars. But that's because I'm actually referring to something that is on Earth. But this table here, or this machine, the CMM, is only. It doesn't care about the stars and the Polaris and the sun or whatever. It doesn't give a shit about that. It only looks at the table. So as long as the table is aligned with the machine itself, why does it matter?
Yeah, the azimuthal plane doesn't give a shit about the lights and the stars in the sky.
Does the CMM care about the stars?
No.
Do I have to align it with
They're still set up on the
Polaris?
horizontal, aren't they?
It's not.
No.
You're wrong.
Why?
You just say that. Why? Why does it have to? I explain.
Like, why isn't it set up on the horizontal? What do they have against these tools being set up on the horizontal? I mean, theodolites, auto levels, telescopes. I would imagine like planers, saws, band saws. All of them are set up on the horizontal. I don't know why these guys have a problem with it. Listen to them.
You're wrong.
Why?
You just say that. Why? Why does it have to? I explained to you why an equatorial mount has to be aligned. And I also explained to you why this machine doesn't have to be aligned. You just say, nah, at this point. You're saying nothing.
I think what it is, it's trying to invoke the vertical or plumb. It has to be tied into plumb or horizontal one way or the other, but that doesn't
make any
matter
sense.
because the coordinate system is within the machine. It's not referenced to external of the machine. It has an origin, a center point from which the coordinate system is built.
It doesn't care.
I don't know whether they've done this on their own, you know, like sat in a little room somewhere. But it might be worth looking into. Because for some reason, they don't think there's any setup required for these machines.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
You can rotate that machine 90 degrees to the left or to the right. It doesn't care. You don't do anything to its coordinate system. It's still exactly the way it was.
So Blue's now talking about you can make it face the south window or the east window.
That was
like it's like
what
are you doing now,
wizardry.
Blue? Yeah. All of the other guys have been tilting it and flipping it, and now Blue's just making it look out the other window. Turning it to face the other wall. Like completely different.
Because it has its own reference frame within it.
That's right.
I'm waiting for Bev to just say Euclid for some reason. No,
it's coming. It's coming.
Euclid, but Euclid.
Yeah,
they have an
Euclid
axiomatic
principles.
system. I can prove Euclidean geometry with axioms. Can you? You want to talk about hot dogs as well? They want to talk about something random, Bev?
Like he did that all himself. Where did that come from? That was all in his head. Obviously, long silence. Nobody's saying anything. That was rather random. Don't think he helped his case.
So I suppose the silence is sort of confirmation that they finally understood the point.
I might have been taking the missus a brew. Did hear me making a brew in the background.
Tis globe.
This globe, yeah. They will not. They will just wait for a while and then forget about this whole conversation.
Yeah, come back and repeat exactly
They will
the
come
same
back
thing
tomorrow
again.
and forget everything we
think
talked
we
about
forget
today.
about it?
Yep.
Have we forgot about this? I bet he's forgot about it, but we haven't forgot about it. It's been recorded. We can go over it. We can relive the nonsense and ask ourselves, what was that about? Doesn't affect the tools being set up on the horizontal plane in reality. It's not make any difference to anything. It's not changed anything.
Rinse and repeat.
That almost sounds like arguing about the shape of the Earth every day. Same thing, rinse and repeat.
Well, I learned a little bit today. At least I learned about CMM. I've never heard about that.
So it's not the same then. You did learn something different today.
Yeah.
Oh.
But not from Bev and Buster.
We got quite a big
If
and
Bev wasn't
fancy
here,
CNC.
if Bev and them weren't here, you wouldn't have learned about it. You probably wouldn't have been talking about it.
I was actually the first one that brought that up, but hey.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah, you mentioned it. Thank you for that.
In our company, we have quite a fancy big CNC, and I just chatted with the operator, and he said it doesn't matter which way because the coordinate system is within the machine. It's absolutely nothing to do with external references of the machine.
So it has its own internal system for finding vertical and horizontal.
Yes, which is independent of, let's say, a plumb.
But is it independent? Wait. Is it independent of how the actual in reality machine was set up?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a 3-axis servo system.
It is,
So,
and it has a center point.
So you could
Wait.
Wait. This was the point earlier. Could you come in and set the machine up on a tilt, and
Yeah, no setup required.
no setup required? Yeah, like you don't have to do anything with the machine. You just come in and boom, plop it down,
Plug and play.
and you're good to go.
Off you
Yeah.
Well, most people aren't that stupid, Buster.
Wait, you're not that stupid?
I don't even think you are.
No. So it does require a
I
setup.
don't know that either.
Why wouldn't
What
you want to try and make at least an effort to make the table level? You're going to set things on that table. You want them rolling off.
You're proving my point for me, Blue.
Why wouldn't you want to go in and level the table up? But
It's got its own system. You can.
But if
you
it's
can
not level,
orient
the whole
its
point
own
is,
system.
if it's not level, it doesn't make any difference. The machine
guy
is not going
says
to
it
change the readings that you get from
Doesn't
the
make any
machine because
difference.
its axes are built into it.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter how you set it up. You just go plop it down, plug and play.
If you're that
Basically, you
stupid,
can.
yeah, you can do that.
I'm not that stupid.
If you glue the parts, if you set it not perfectly level, that's not you would have to firmly mount and maybe glue the parts to it. But it would. I
Glue
don't
the
see any
parts to
problem with
it?
it. I don't. Yes, because
like
otherwise it
mountains
would fall
to
off.
Rubik's cubes.
Like it would fall
Holy
off, right?
shit.
Do you understand that, Buster? If you put something on a tilted table, it will
this
fall
globe
off.
gangster's speaking for
Maybe
all of
become
us,
flex.
right? It sounds like he's talking a load of shit to me.
I
But
think we're
No,
in
what?
We know you're
Is it
talking
hard to
about
understand it,
shit,
Jeff? Is
You're
it hard to
talking nothing
understand that?
but
I'm
shit,
trying
Jeff.
to
subvert
That's all
get
you
it.
ever do.
I'm trying to add to a globe proof to give to Dave Weiss to take his
This has
Bitcoin
nothing
off
to
him.
do with globe proof, Bev.
This has nothing to do.
Well, I'm not
with
exactly.
the
I
Earth.
can't get much out of this. Sounds more like a dogmatic globe proof than anything, really.
This has
Ah,
nothing
There's
to do
nothing
with
to
globe.
do.
Jesus
Why are
Christ.
you bringing in the Earth?
Is that a
Yeah, well,
Euclidean
yeah,
dog
Bev.
or?
Why every
Because we're globe gangsters here, aren't we?
Yeah, but that's the problem.
I mean,
Every time we
that is
discuss
trying to
problem.
this
refine my
you-
globe proofs.
That's I think that's the problem when you are
This
here
is-
because you're like a flat earther who
This
doesn't
is like
want
the
to say you're a
Earth's
ultimate
not
flat
flat,
earther.
mate.
subversal.
You
The Earth
think
is
I don't care what you have to
definitely
say
not
about
flat.
that. You think the Earth is flat. That's fine.
I don't.
I don't care what you
You
have to
do.
say. You
yeah,
defined
you do.
you have every single attribute that and views that a flat earther will have. You just don't call
No.
yourself a
Globe
flat earther.
proofs.
Well, he's got one extra
All-
one. He's ashamed of it.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm,
He's
well, I
ashamed
don't
of
have to
it.
be ashamed of something that I'm not, Blue.
All horizontal
You can
are
imagine
parallel
whatever you
to
want,
each other,
then.
regardless where we are on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
guys
wonder
are the
what
ones
kind of
talking
baseline.
about-
Line.
proof that.
You guys
You're
are the
claiming
ones.
my horizontal is parallel to your horizontal,
I'm saying
but
all horizontals are parallel, yes.
So
yeah,
so
and then the blues and whoever's in a
All
all the,
horizontal planes
hor-
are parallel to the plane of the
so
horizon.
Cartesian coordinate systems aren't
Okay.
a thing.
Oh god.
Well, they're all horizontal, right?
I don't know. Who?
I mean,
My horizontal is parallel to Bav's horizontal, which means the average shape of the North Sea should be, as Bav calls it, flat of some sort, or horizontal plane.
Well, you
Tides
asked-
and waves,
no,
yes.
No, wait. You said flat. Like you didn't have a definition of flat, so you're not allowed to use that word.
Flat's also not a shape. So he's just said the shape is flat. I mean, like nobody says that here. Like, why would that make you a flat earther? I mean, it's bad that these guys don't actually have an argument. But when they just start accusing you of being something that you're obviously not, then you've got a problem. And we've got arguments. These guys don't have anything. If you're talking about my definition, that would be a visual surface condition.
Not
and
back
it's
to that
definitely
again.
not flat.
We use flat to describe a bunch of things which is not necessarily
You don't have a
optical
definition
flat.
of flat, do you?
You're using a measuring device as a definition of flat.
Who is?
You.
Right, look. This is terrible. What's he say?
You're using a measuring device as a definition of flat.
Who is?
You.
No, I'm using a visual surface condition. That's what I use
Yeah,
as my
from a
definition
measuring
of
device.
flat. No, from anything.
From a measuring device.
You can see it with your eyes.
The measuring device. The measuring device.
Your
You're
eyes
using
aren't
a measuring
measuring a device.
You're using a measuring device
Your
as a
eyes
definition for
aren't
flat.
measuring devices, are they?
What are you looking at?
A mountain.
A mountain?
Just
Yes.
another way to try to weasel out of the fact that
I
he's
can
a flat
see.
earther and he's ashamed
I
of
can
it.
see
Yeah.
visually
Yeah, it is.
that the mountain is not flat.
Well,
you
wait,
think
wait,
all
wait,
flat
wait.
earthers
We-
think
wait.
that there are no mountains?
Wait, we
right?
didn't ask Blue what his definition of flat was.
Right. I don't know, did anybody get that? Right? I said that flat is a visual surface condition. And therefore you could see something. It's not a measuring device, right? Your eyes are not a measuring device. It's a visual surface condition. So you can see that it's not flat. And then his immediate rebuttal to me saying that mountains visually are not flat is that no flat earthers say that there's no mountains. Listen to it. Listen to this. This is what he says.
Well,
you think all flat earthers think that there are no mountains?
Wait,
right?
we didn't.
I think all flat earthers think that there's no mountains. As a reply to me saying you can see that mountains aren't flat. Now, you've got to acknowledge that in the mind of these people, when this is going on, there's a processor fault. It's actually a non sequitur. Pointing at the mountains and looking at them and saying they're not flat does not equate to flat earthers saying that mountains don't exist. There's no link between those two, apart from in the mind of this crazy person. Nobody else picks it up. Nobody in the room. Blue Marble, all of the other people. Listen to it again. Listen to this again. Listen to this dogmatic globe reasoning.
Just another way to try to weasel out of the fact that
I
he's
can
a flat
see.
earther and he's ashamed
I
of
can
it.
see
Yeah.
visually
Yeah,
that the mountain is not flat.
Well,
you
wait,
think all
wait,
flat
wait.
earthers
We-
think
wait.
that there are no mountains?
Wait,
right?
we didn't ask Blue what his definition of flat was.
Yeah, you did, and
Jesus
I
Christ.
answered it too.
Yeah, what was it?
I said flat is all the points that line a plane.
There you go. I'll have that. Thank you very much, Blue.
I said flat is all the points that line a plane.
I think this is where we start getting into the good stuff. Normally takes me a couple of days to cut these videos, so I'll probably be going over this for probably do it tomorrow day as well.
Yeah, you did, and I answered it too.
Yeah, what was it?
I said flat is all the points that line a plane.
So the Earth isn't flat.
Yeah. By Blue's definition too.
Yeah, we agree on that. So, but you're calling
So
Bev a flat.
according to you, then, Bev.
Wait, no, Stefan, hang on.
Oh, go on.
Blue's calling Bev a flat earther, and he's saying it's not. And Bev's agreeing with his, like, all points lie on an equal plane.
Yeah, and Bev claims
But you're still calling him.
And Bev claims that all elevation
earther.
points, all equal elevation points line a plane. That would be flat.
Right? Can you see that reasoning as well? Does that compute in everybody? Right? Blue's got a definition of flat where all of the points lie in a plane. Right? And I'm saying it's not flat. The Earth is not that definition of flat. But Blue says that I say. Listen to it again. It's mad. I'll go over the whole thing. By Blue's definition too.
Yeah, we agree on that. So, but you're calling Bev a flat.
According to you, then, Bev.
Wait, no, Stefan, hang on.
Oh, go on.
Blue's calling Bev a flat earther, and he's saying it's not. And Bev's agreeing with his, like, all points lie on an equal plane.
Yeah, and Bev claims
but you're still calling him.
And Bev claims that all elevation
earther.
points, all equal elevation points line a plane. That would be flat.
Yeah, and again, the Earth is not that. They change, so not flat is exactly what I say. And going along with Blue's definition, that's exactly what I say, not flat. But Blue still wants to assign flat. Why? Why does Blue want to still assign flat when it does not even fit his own definition? There's a problem with the reasoning process. No, a
But what
horizontal
claim is
plane.
that all points of equal elevation are in a plane. He claims that level is horizontal. That's what that implies.
Yeah.
What was your definition of flat again?
I told you, all points lying in a plane. Bev claims that level is horizontal. He's therefore claiming that all equal elevation points lie in a plane.
Yeah, and we're saying that the Earth is
that
definitely not
that.
that.
Means he's a flat earther. Simple.
What?
Can anybody else reason that from Blue? That flat is all points lying in a plane. And the Earth's not that. And horizontal is also all points lying within a plane. Equal elevation, and the Earth's not that either. But Blue wants to assign one of them that isn't reality along to Flat Earther for some reason. It doesn't make any sense, but, you know, this is blue marble science. He's probably been in this arena for a little bit too long. Or maybe they just want to assign Flat Earther to me when I'm not a Flat Earther. Right? I've got all sorts of arguments to say it's not flat. And you go over there to the Globe Gangsters. I want to point out to them that there's an entire group of people that live in reality that, you know, might be struggling if they ever go to talk to these people. Because, for one, Blue Marble Science and Funk and Stefan, they're all talking nonsense. And one of the things that happens whenever you question any of the nonsense that these guys speak of or whatever, it doesn't really matter. If you question their nonsense, then you turn into part of that other group. And then they'll start finger pointing and putting you into groups, assigning you into a group because you're not part of their group. And they're the globe guys. So they have every right to say that, well, if you're not a glober, then you must be a flat earther. And start calling you a flat earther with their awful reasoning skills. Non sequiturs. It's terrible.
Absolutely correctly. Much better way of describing it than I was able to.
Right, so we
You
know
might
it's
take
not
the
flat
label, but
He claims all horizontal.
by your
Claims all horizontals
definition
are parallel,
and by my definition.
But he doesn't know if all
they
verticals
both
are
comport
parallel.
with each other, right?
yeah.
Not flat.
So all horizontals are parallel, but you don't know if all verticals are parallel, right, Bill?
I would.
So all horizontals are parallel, but you don't know if all verticals are parallel, right, Bill?
I wouldn't make that. It's going to start getting a little bit heavy here now for clipping all of the bits of blue marble. Might need to clean that up, and this is where
We
know
might
it's
take
not
the
flat.
label, but
He claims all horizontal.
By your
claims all horizontals
definition
are parallel,
and by my definition.
But he doesn't know if all
they
verticals
both
are
comport
parallel.
with each other, right?
yeah.
Not flat.
So all horizontals are parallel, but you don't know if all verticals are parallel, right, Bill?
I wouldn't make that leap.
You don't claim verticals are parallel.
No, I wouldn't say that, Blue.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say that, is what I say. I wouldn't say that. Listen to it again.
And verticals are parallel.
No, I wouldn't say that, Blue.
Okay. So somehow or the other, all horizontals can be parallel, but verticals don't have to be parallel. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Well, you need to say one thing or the other.
I have. I do. I'd say all horizontals are parallel. I've made an argument about it, Blue.
And vertical is perpendicular to horizontal, is it not?
All verticals are perpendicular to horizontal, Blue. Yes.
Therefore, all verticals have to be parallel to each other. Do they not?
There you go. That's a good one. About here.
Well, you need to say one thing or the other.
I have. I do. I'd say all horizontals are parallel. I've made an argument about it, Blue.
And vertical. And vertical is perpendicular to horizontal, is it not?
All.
And vertical is perpendicular to horizontal, is it not?
All verticals are perpendicular to horizontal, Blue. Yes.
Therefore, all verticals have to be parallel to each other.
You're making
No.
that claim, Blue.
No, Bill's making the claim.
Listen to that. Listen to that. Here we go. Listen to this again.
And vertical is perpendicular to horizontal, is it not?
All verticals are perpendicular to horizontal, Blue. Yes.
Therefore, all verticals have to be parallel to each other.
You're
not?
making that claim, Blue.
No, Bill's making the claim.
No. So did anybody hear me make that claim, or is that Blue? Because that definitely sounded like Blue to me, and there'll be a common thread going along here. That few of these things, I think. I don't want to be messing about with them. Sorry about that. You guys can't see it. You have to make it.
But that's how it works. They've claimed being pretty good prognosticators and mind readers. All they have to do is make a claim, say you did it, even though you didn't say it, and totally justified.
Yeah, I mean the stories can come out of this from here on because these are good. These guys are the ones that tell the stories and the legends of all of this sort of stuff, and they can tell each other about those times where these other people said these other things, and I think that's where we're at. Like, they wanted to just let everybody know that.
Yeah.
Bev said that, but I didn't. I didn't say that at all. He makes this this entire claim. You can listen to it. I mean, it's all there. It's all been wrote down. It's all been recorded. There is a big, long recording. As they always do to go off
And
this, so
vertical is perpendicular to horizontal, is it not?
All verticals are perpendicular to horizontal, Blue. Yes. Yeah.
Therefore, all verticals have to be parallel to each other.
You're making that claim, Blue.
No, Bev's making the claim.
No, you are making that claim.
Bev, that is exactly what Bev's claiming.
You made that conclusion, like Nathan
That's
Oakley made
exactly
a
what he's
conclusion
saying.
that the
I
Earth
don't
is not
understand
flat.
that.
Blue, you've said that.
I don't understand that.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That was pretty clean.
I don't understand that.
I don't understand that. That's good.
I don't understand that.
Thanks, Blue. You don't understand. I don't understand that. I'll put a few more of those in. That's a good one, so we'll have a few of them.
I don't understand that.
Well, you don't understand what
all
you just...
verticals,
Wait,
all horizontals are parallel,
Blue.
and all verticals are perpendicular to horizontal.
That was really fucking quick. That it's like he went all Witsit on us. Listen to the speed of this.
Well, you don't understand what
all
you just...
verticals,
Wait,
all horizontals are parallel,
Blue.
and all verticals are perpendicular to horizontal. That only leaves you with the conclusion that all verticals must be parallel to each other.
I'm having that's going in it. A little bit fast at the beginning.
Well, you don't understand what you
all
just...
verticals,
Wait.
all
Copy, thanks, Blue. So that's the argument really from Blue. I'll get it copied over here first. Listen to this, Blue Marble.
All verticals, all horizontals are parallel, and all verticals are perpendicular to horizontal. That only leaves you with the conclusion that all verticals must be parallel to each other.
That Blue, that's you saying it.
No, that's Bev saying it.
No. Did anybody hear me saying that? Did anybody hear me saying that? Or did Blue hear me when he was saying it? Do you think there's a chance that Blue Marble, when he speaks logic, he hears me saying it when it comes out of his mouth? I think it's a little bit much to say, really, isn't it? But Just have a listen to this and tell me. Does it sound like me?
All verticals, all horizontals are parallel, and all
Blue.
verticals are perpendicular to horizontal. That only leaves you with the conclusion that all verticals must be parallel to each other.
That Blue, that's you saying it.
No, that's Bev saying it.
No.
You just said it.
That's Bev saying it.
It's not. It wasn't me. I didn't say that. That was definitely Blue Marble that said that, right? You all heard it. Wasn't me. I can't even do that good an impression of Blue Marble Science. I'm not that good at doing those sort of things.
It's crazy that he said it. I was trying to point out that that Blue said it, but he was bickering that you said it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's how delusional this like arena is, that in his head, he maybe hears you saying it. He's saying it. He reasoned it out and said you said it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wow. I mean, like, where's Kevin or Emma with the psychology here? I mean, what goes on in somebody's head that they hear you say it, but they say it?
How, look, Akumu viruses, how can you misunderstand what he's saying? Well, he's saying it, though. That's the thing, Akumu virus. It wasn't me saying it. Blue said it. I haven't said that. That's the weird thing about this conversation as it progresses. I haven't said it, and I specifically don't say it.
That's what I was going to point out. Was like earlier, just like a few minutes ago, it was like, are all verticals parallel? I wouldn't. You say,
yeah.
I wouldn't say that.
I don't say that.
But now he's saying,
yeah. Now he said you did say it, but I've never said it. I don't say that. He made that argument all on his own. Little Logos jumped inside his head and made him formulate an argument. Now, when he formulated that argument, he thought it was me.
He doesn't even say therefore or.
Like Akumu virus is saying it. He's wrote it out as well in the chat.
Oh, now Akumu virus is
yeah,
wrote
it. Look, yeah.
So if Akumu virus has an argument.
Yeah, again, the same thing. He's saying it's the result of geometry.
We're gonna have to do a ticker on how many Globers are. That's be the fourth one, right? Because 3 of them made that same argument that night. Now we got 4.
Yeah, Akumu virus. Well done. Now, Akumu virus, you don't think it's me that wrote that argument out in the chat, do you? Because that was you that wrote that argument out. Right? And what Blue's saying definitely wasn't me. I didn't do that. So you're saying it's a result of geometry. That Blue said that. Not because of me. I'll get that though. I'll just put it in the video then. We can there you go. There you go. Thank you very much, Kumu. He's saying it's the result of geometry. And then writes out the argument that Blue Marble stated. But Blue Marble said that I did it. I didn't. Listen to it again. I mean, like, we'll go back all the way back here.
All verticals, all horizontals are parallel, and all verticals are perpendicular to horizontal. That only leaves you with the conclusion that all verticals must be parallel to each other.
That Blue, that's you saying it.
No, that's Bev saying it.
No, you just said it.
That's Bev saying it.
Vertical is no longer perpendicular to horizontal.
But yesterday I had.
Do you think you're
I had
me,
you guys.
Blue? Whenever you say that, are you voicing me, or because I heard you saying it, Blue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys earlier, right?
You made the entire argument. You did well.
Yeah. Yeah, but yesterday
well
I think everybody.
Akumu Virus made the same argument. I think you're about to hear Funk and Stefan and maybe one other to come in to help him out to say it as well.
Yeah, yesterday we talked about.
We call that Blues argument.
I used coordinate system, right? And then I
Do you
used,
agree with Blues argument?
I used the coordinate. Thank you. So I used the coordinate.
Kumu Virus agrees with Blues argument. He's made the same argument.
System, and when
wait. I got
and then
Cartesian coordinate system.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I used the Cartesian coordinate system yesterday. Thank you. Bev is so annoying. He's interrupting a lot, so it was very nice. It's and when I use that, you guys agree, right? It will follow Euclid's principle. And would you say Euclid's principle? Would you agree with me? That's to say that if all horizontals are parallel, and then verticals are perpendicular to horizontals, then all verticals must be parallel.
See, he's just done it as well.
I was gonna say, bam.
There's another one straight away after it. Like, I think he's trying to rob Blue's argument off him, but Blue Marble Science made it first. We'll have this one here.
And then verticals
at least
are
I didn't rumpus him. Well, I'm rumpusing him
yeah.
now, but at least I didn't rumpus him.
I'll get this one. I don't know whether we should put this in there because I don't want to take the limelight off Blue, really. Just to say that,
at this point, though, it should be like a ticker.
Yeah. See how many other people want to join with it.
So it kind of be worth it, seeing how many people. Which, I mean, Akumu just typed it, but still, he actually typed it out.
Yeah, I just need to make sure with Akumu, right? It wasn't me that wrote that, was it, Akumu? That was you entirely. You were agreeing with Blue Marble because I think it's great once we start with this sort of stuff because it is about what occurs on the real globe. That's all we're out for, is to integrate reality with tis globe.
And would you say Euclid's principle? Would you agree with me?
Here we go. There you go. What would you say? That's a good start.
And would you say Euclid's principle? Would you agree with me? That's to say that if all horizontals are parallel, and then verticals are perpendicular to horizontals, then all verticals must be parallel.
There you go. Let's see, would you agree with him? Akumu obviously would agree with him. I would say it does seem to follow geometric reasoning. So, yeah, well done, guys. I think you've all done quite well.
I'm back, by the way.
Arguments. Hey, good. Welcome back. We've only just got started with the argument.
This is really good.
Yeah.
So that's we're tally is 3, and I got that right. 3.
Well,
people
Akumu
making the same Euclidean argument.
But on the video though, Kevin, this is just the second person.
Yeah, this is the second
Stefan.
One.
Yeah, Stefan I think comes in and does the same thing. But now we got Akumu in the chat type. Babe.
Same thing.
Yeah. That's in the live chat there. It's on the screen, so people can see that as well.
Whilst they're making the argument, they're saying Bev said it.
Yeah, Bev's never said that. He's never said all verticals are parallel.
Well, it was funny because earlier in the video, Blue asked Bev about verticals being parallel, and Bev says, I don't say that. But then they go on to, make an argument.
Actually say it.
Hey.
And then say that I said it.
Yeah, you said it. Didn't. No, you.
Yeah, right. Okay, so here we go. This is obviously Funk trying to take Blue Marble's limelight by just repeating the
Would you say
argument.
Euclid's principle? Would you agree with me? That's to say that if all horizontals are parallel, and then verticals are perpendicular to horizontals, then all verticals must be parallel. Following Euclid's principle.
You just Blue's said it argument.
Like Blue did.
Come on. You don't try and take Blue's argument off him.
Are we saying that like space isn't Euclidean? Are we? We have to say that.
You just like made. You just said you were.
I proved to you yesterday that they have to be
geometry.
I proved to you yesterday that they have to be, but
it proved that they have to be. And Akumu virus is now saying that it is the result of my argument. Well, that's your argument.
I was going to say, but that's
You've
his
wrote
argument.
that argument out. That's not the result of my argument. That's your argument.
So we can stamp Akumu on it. He's got the stamp of approval.
Yeah.
On Blue's argument, Funk has the stamp of approval on Blue's argument, and we might get a third one in the video for.
They are attributing their ability to make arguments on me, though. So maybe I was the catalyst. Maybe I made an argument first, and now they're all making arguments and saying, "Well, it's only because of Bev we made these arguments, right? He made an argument, so we have to make an argument, and let's say it's Bev's. You know, it's attributed to Bev because he made an argument."
Yeah, but the interesting thing to me is the ease by which the logic flows from them. The logical argument flows. Right? You didn't say this, it's not your argument. But the ease in which both Blue and now Akumu, and now on the video again, Funk, is stating this, it like flows like water. The logical argument. It's their argument. They're the ones who wrote it and said it. But how easy is it? That's the thing. Like, they had no problem at all applying Euclidean logic to their argument. That's what's so interesting to me, anyway.
Akumu virus writes, "You could easily prove otherwise by drawing parallel horizontals with non-parallel verticals." Imagine that.
Is Akumu virus attempting to get you to do a modus tollens on their argument?
I don't know. You could easily prove otherwise by drawing parallel horizontals with non-parallel verticals. I don't know how. Like, you've already stated that vertical and horizontal are perpendicular.
Yeah, maybe it's worth stating here. I'll read it because it's up on the screen here. If all horizontals are parallel and verticals are perpendicular to horizontal, then verticals are parallel. I mean, that's not our argument.
Yeah, I think what they've done is they've done this geometric reasoning, and I know it does sound okay, but I mean, you could say if vertical and horizontal are perpendicular, then, right, and then you could make your conclusions from that alone, couldn't you? You could make both of the conclusions just from vertical and horizontal being perpendicular.
So would that mean there's a question, there's a potential question hanging as to whether verticals and horizontals have a perpendicular relationship?
Well, they seem to have attributed horizontals being parallel, right, as their first premise, let's say. But it need not be. Like, I keep pointing out the importance of the perpendicular. You know, horizontal and vertical being perpendicular, I would say, is the more important one. It does come before in the definitions. You know, in Euclid, it's definition 10. It's pretty integral to all of these things, that perpendicular relationship. So maybe that's the bit that they're missing out, and maybe they're sort of, because they've seen the argument that concludes with all horizontals being parallel, they may be fixed on that.
I think so, because I think Akumu virus is as much said that. On the one hand, he says this. I think he's meaning the argument that's now on the screen that you copied from the YouTube chat. This is a geometric argument, and then his next post is, I don't agree that all horizontals are parallel, but it's in your argument.
Yeah, I mean,
these are strange times.
There is a thing within making an argument, right?
I mean, people can think like it's in one instance, Funk, or well, let me do it in the correct order. Blue, Funk, Stefan, Akumu can have a moment of critical thinking and make an actual argument, but then just turn around and go, yeah, but that's, I don't think that. But then not make a counter argument or another argument.
Has just said it's not.
It's not my argument.
It's not my argument.
No, but
it's right there in black and white. Yeah. Yes, it's on the screen on the YouTube channel. Literally right there.
Wait, let's ask.
And then he said it would break the geometric laws were it to be anything other than that. But it's not his argument, and he doesn't agree with it.
But whose argument is it? Because I don't think anybody in this server has ever posted that argument.
No,
I don't. Am I wrong? I mean, I'm okay.
It's Blue's argument. I mean, Saragaki did do a perpendicular one, right? But it wasn't that argument. It wasn't that simple. That was advanced simplicity. The Blue Marble Science's argument that he made about Euclidean principles, that was advanced simplicity. Logos gifted that to Blue. And Blue thought it was me.
But what's crazy is, well, it's not crazy, but like what was wild is that like two people in that conversation made the same, almost verbatim, and then now Kumu's making the same argument.
And now the same argument that it's not his argument.
But he just put in geometric laws aren't meant to be broken.
It's a bit of a conundrum there, isn't it?
I'm sensing aporia. I'm sensing aporia. That's
definitely parallelism for sure.
Wow.
For sure, yeah. This is amazing. I mean, it's almost fantastic, but we're actually witnessing it.
Yeah, I think that's what's so good about Blue Marble's argument, because they have to face these geometric principles, one way or the other. Imagine it's Bev saying it, even though it was definitely Blue that voiced that argument.
Well, we've just heard Blue and Funk. We might catch another one.
Yeah, all right. So we'll carry on.
Where do they stand though on horizontals? If all horizontals aren't parallel, if that's what they say, is it some horizontals are parallel or no horizontals
don't
are
give
parallel?
it. Hey, they have to make the argument.
Yeah, you don't give it to them. Don't give them choices. Don't make it into a multiple choice for them.
The only argument we've ever heard as far as horizontals go with these guys, these four guys so far, they've made an actual argument. Nobody's made an actual argument for what you're asking for, Mike. So maybe
I mean they're at the not that. I just want to know if they actually have a that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the that, right? This is the first genuine argument that they've ever made.
Yep.
It was an epic moment. I was sitting there that night going, wow. I mean, this is a big deal. Blue said the conclusion is, and Funk says, then he uses the if and then. I mean, like they properly made a logical statement.
It was proud, right? It was a proud moment where you thought, oh, look at how they've grown. It's only took us a few years. Yeah,
well,
Level Bastard's in the chat here, right? He checked it with ChatGPT to check how good an argument it was.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT gave it a 10 out of 10 for simplicity.
Holy
everything,
shit.
Nice. I mean, it is like you're right, Bev. It's how many years now we finally got an argument out of these guys, but that's what floors me. It flowed so easily, so naturally, both for Blue and for Akumu virus.
Yeah, but
it's amazing.
Yeah, that's what Kevin. That's what Bev was saying. It was like Blue had a Witsit moment. Like it just like like you said, it just popped right, boom, boom, boom.
Yep, just like it was right there, and you could. It was almost like Blue couldn't hold it out of his lips, like he couldn't hold it back.
Logos, like that. Logos literally entered Blue marble science there to do that.
And then he blamed the Logos moment on you. It was, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was Bev.
Yeah, it was Bev. Well, I mean, I might have been there in the room, but I definitely didn't say that. I didn't force Blue Marble to say that. That wasn't me editing skills or anything. That literally happened in the rooms. If you want to be part of these conversations, come to On the Level Discord, be my guest. But these conversations are going on at a Discord channel called Globe Gangsters. And we are going to be making this song. I don't know how well it's going to be received over there, but I think this is going to be groundbreaking stuff for people how to make arguments. Right, here we go. Listen to this now to see how well the arguments made.
Bev didn't want to entertain the demonstration, but regardless, I proved to you guys that it has to be, unless there is some.
There you go. I like that. I proved to you guys that it has to be.
But regardless, I proved to you guys that it has to be.
I like that. That's a good clip. Because if there's anything that you can prove to people, it is that it has to be. That's dogmatic. That's how the dogma works. You can prove that it has to be. There's no other way it could be. Otherwise, you can't conclude 'tis globe. It's a necessary outcome that it has to be. I have got two you don't understand going so we can have a fair few clips.
But regardless, I proved to you guys that it has to be, unless there is some curvature of space for some reason. I don't care, Bev. You just ignored my demonstration yesterday. You went on a complete rant. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, Bev, what did you mean by you claim all horizontal are parallel to each other, but you didn't know
argument.
if
it's the conclusion to an argument.
You did. Hang on, I haven't finished yet. But you didn't know if all verticals would be perpendicular to the horizontals.
No,
Is that what you said?
I said I don't say that.
What do you say then? Do you say they
all
are not
horizontals are parallel? Obviously, there's an argument. I do.
Yeah. But are you saying that verticals will not be perpendicular to the horizontals?
No, I do. I definitely say that all verticals and horizontals are perpendicular to one another. Yes, I definitely.
Yeah, and they are
that.
parallel. Yes, and since all horizontals are parallel, then vertical must be parallel. That's what you're saying. That's what Blue said.
No. I'm saying that I don't say that.
But you
do. I like it again. How many times have I said that I don't say that? And what's he saying? He's saying that I say it. I don't know whether that's what... Because these guys want to put you in certain groups and they want to say that you've said things. And if there's one thing that can be trusted is that these guys lie, obviously. Like, you've literally watched these guys lie about saying who said it. They say it. They say that I said it. I haven't said it. So is it a lie? Or is it not a lie? Are these guys lying? Or are they just imagining that I've said it when I haven't? Akumu virus is basic geometry. Basic geometry, right? That you're finally making basic geometric arguments. I bet you feel proud of each other doing this. It's took a while. It's took a few years.
It is the one time I will say that these, some of these guys have agreed with each other and like come to a like consensus? I mean, it's 4. I mean, that's like I wouldn't say. I mean, it's a consensus amongst 4 guys.
Yeah, I mean, who are they really? I mean, it's Blue Marble, Funk, Akumu Virus,
and
Stefan Mud. I mean, it's not as if it's Simon Dan. Fight the Flat Earth, is it? I mean, what would it matter what Fight Simon Dan and Fight the Flat Earth said about an argument? It's a basic geometry argument. Could be made by anyone. What are you going to say about it? Are you going to say, that's something, if you make that argument, then you're a flat earther? Because, I mean...
Well, the first person to make it was Blue.
Blue made it.
Blue
yeah, so
Marble
you can't really
argument.
say that it can't be a flat earth argument, can it? Doesn't... If it rolled out off Blue Marble's tongue so easily, is it possible that it could be... No, I don't. It's definitely not a flat Earth because obviously the Earth's not flat. So Blue Marble can't make a flat Earth argument, can he?
Well, Blue Marble Science made the argument, so it's his globe.
It has to be. Yeah, must be a globe.
Has to be.
Yes, and since all horizontals are parallel, then vertical must be parallel.
There you go.
If then,
yeah. So.
And since all horizontals are parallel,
there's your third guy in the conversation. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Straight in there. I get this. I definitely.
Yeah, and they are parallel. Yes, and since all horizontals are parallel, then vertical must be parallel.
Oh, there you go. That was a lot quicker, wasn't it? Like he just had a relationship of parallels to parallels.
He might have missed a step, but
yeah, still sort of there. I mean, like I think that's the beauty of geometry, really.
Maybe
that it works in more ways than this. Like it works through the perpendiculars, even. I'd say all you need is the horizontal and vertical being perpendicular, and then you're on your way.
That's what you're saying. That's what Blue said.
No, I'm saying that I don't say that.
But
that's what
said it. That's
literally what I'm saying. Is that I don't say that. But whereas you and Blue have said that.
No. Blue, Stefan, and Igai has said that.
Mm-hmm.
I also demonstrated to you, and I also proved it yesterday, but nobody cares about that. You guys are basically being incoherent.
But you guys are on about Cartesian coordinate system.
So,
like you guys are saying
doesn't that follow Euclidean principles?
Yes.
Like you guys said so earlier. So if space is Euclidean, you can plot every single line and object that exists in reality in this coordinate system.
Hey,
and I did that yesterday.
Well
and then
done.
I demonstrated that those two lines that are not those two horizontal lines, they don't even have to be the same line. That both of them have to be. I mean, you can be a child, Bev, if you want to. But I did that yesterday, and you, Bev, refused to even look at the drawing. You just started babbling over me.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of a stolen concept? Yeah, we go talking about a stolen concept. Now, this being one of the conversations that we had starting, a few weeks ago, or maybe a week ago or so. How long have we been going there for? Must be.
I think it's just like a week or two at the most.
Yeah. So this is one of the earlier conversations. That stolen concept has been brought to fruition. Like the proof's there. These conversations from this, call this the genesis of them making an argument, and then the full progression. As we've seen, it's been developed like this. First off, there's the Euclidean geometry, and then there's the transition to imaginometry, and then you can then have the full stolen concept globe proof, which we had earlier today and yesterday, of course, in our conversations with the guys over at the Globe Gangsters. We've been sort of working over a way to devise a globe proof for Dave Weiss over there. So the conversation's always going. Go and talk to them. The guys that we're developing globe proofs. Like Blue Marble here with these guys making arguments.
Sounds like Bill's denying Euclid for some
Yeah,
reason.
Sounds like Bev's denying Euclid, says Blue Marble Science. I mean, has anyone else said that? Has anyone else heard any reason to find Bev denying Euclid?
Well, maybe he's just trying to justify his argument.
Yep. Well, it's his argument, right? And
that's what I'm saying. Maybe he's just trying to justify it.
Because he might be upset that I don't say that.
Right.
That, you know, so he's like, come on, Bev, say my argument. Come on.
Yeah, it's like he's worked it out. He's made the argument. And now he's claiming you're denying Euclidean geometry.
His argument, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I'm just saying that I don't say that.
Right.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Sounds like Bill's denying Euclid for some reason.
You're denying Euclid.
Claim? Anyone heard of a self-refuting
space
claim?
has to be non-Euclidean for your claim
otherwise
to be true,
known
Bev.
as a stolen concept.
Bev, they're
Bev,
with the subversal.
Bev, wouldn't space have to be non-Euclidean for your argument to be true?
Right, Funk comes in with it's not my. Remember, it's not my argument. It's Blue's argument.
This is amazing. Like it's not Funk's and it's Blue's, but Blue says it's not his, it's yours. But now it is their argument. They made it. Now they're having to kind of like live out that they did make it. Now
they need non-Euclidean space for it to be true in, even though they've made. Like Akumu virus was telling us that it was basic geometric principles, and
but it's worse. It's worse than that. They're trying to flip it on you, saying that Euclidean principles don't stand. Like, is it?
They have to have non-Euclidean stuff to have the argument that they made that relies on geometric principles to be true.
Yeah,
that's a stolen concept, right? I'm talking about stolen concepts, telling them to watch out for stolen concepts, and they've literally, Funk has anyway. It's mad.
Space has to be non-Euclidean for your argument to be true.
What argument? We don't know.
It has to be.
It has to be. It has to be. It has to be.
Was that the second one?
Yeah. And I don't think that's ironic, right? And I don't think he's sort of heard the, full axioms of the. It was like I tell you, it was wrote for a reason.
It has to be.
Has to be. Has to be. There's no other way. It has to be. Thank you very much. We'll have another clip. Only because it's, it has to be. Not because of who's saying it. Just for the reason that he's saying it.
It has to be.
Has to be.
Otherwise, you're denying that space is Euclidean.
Totally glowing.
Yeah.
A
guy. What's Bev's argument?
Let me see. Akumu virus says you say all horizontals are parallel, and all verticals are perpendicular to horizontal. That's true. I do say that. It's a conclusion that you come to. Well done. Yeah, I've said I don't say that. Simple. Dead simple.
It's that verticals doesn't have to be parallel, even though horizontals are parallel, and horizontals and verticals are all perpendicular.
I can't remember writing that up. What? You want to hear my
That was-
argument according to Funk? I mean, like, what's happened in his head?
You actually have it wrote down in multiple. Like you've got not a GIF, but just like a meme. It's written down.
Yeah.
And
Well, no, I think he's processed, right?
Yeah.
The fact that I've said I don't say that, right? So
Yeah, but
he's then processed it into some sort of a conclusion that just, fried
But
his
that's
brain.
why I asked. I wanted to see. I can remember this. What's Bev's argument? And this is his. His vision of what remembrance vision. I don't know of what your argument is.
Yeah, listen.
Guy, what's Bev's argument?
It's that verticals doesn't have to be parallel, even though horizontals are parallel, and horizontals and verticals are all perpendicular.
I can't remember writing that argument. Yeah. What?
It was like they were so brilliant in making an actual argument. Like it was formulated well. Blue did it first, and then of course they kind of took it off of him. Then you get this. It's like, wow, it's amazing.
That's my argument.
When did he say that? Yeah, I was
Wow.
gonna say.
He said so earlier.
A couple of minutes ago.
Where did that come from?
He just said that.
I said that a couple of minutes ago. Like, what? You can't get away with that, right? When it's being recorded. Like, we can just literally go back a couple of minutes and see that I never said that. But in these rooms, they can try and gaslight people in that way. They do it all the time. Say that they never said that, or that you said something that you didn't say, and you can't go back because it's live. You don't have the ability to do those sort of things. Only people like Anthony Riley has the ability to record things and go back for those little snippets. The rest of us have to deal with these sort of things, recording the whole thing. Less than honest, let's say, that these guys are being with what they're saying.
Yeah, a couple of minutes ago, Bev said that yes, verticals are perpendicular to horizontals.
Yes.
But at the same time, he's saying that no, he doesn't say that. What he's saying is that all horizontals are parallel to
You
each other.
guys say it for me, don't you?
No, you said that, Bev, a couple of minutes ago.
I don't say it.
Don't
Yes.
just say he didn't say it,
Yeah,
but
and
you
that,
guys
which is a
did
true
say
statement. You guys said it. I didn't say that.
But do you disagree
yes,
with
you
it?
did.
Okay, you
said verticals are perpendicular to horizontals.
Yes,
Let's be clear. He said
that, yes.
verticals. He doesn't know whether verticals are parallel. That's what he said, to be precise.
I asked him about that, and he said no.
No, I said I wouldn't say that.
Okay. So why don't you know that?
Why not?
Why don't you know that?
I don't have to say it, do I?
It would be true, right?
But then you would, if you're following Euclid's principles of, like, if space is following Euclid's principle, then that would follow.
Yeah, but you guys have never really talked to me, so you don't know Bev's principles, do you?
So you have your own space.
Bev's principles don't say that. If you don't need to say it, you don't have to say it.
So in Bev's space,
leave it as an enthymeme. See, they're still not quite getting it, are they? That I just don't say it. Like, you guys can understand that, right? You don't say things. Like, the M word. Who says the M word? Does anybody have the principle to not say it? Because if you do, then you'll understand what not saying something is. It's just not saying it.
Okay, so in Bev space, not Euclid space, in Bev space, you can actually not be a flat earther and verticals. You don't have to.
You're definitely not.
Or sorry,
flat earther,
I
right?
don't even know what you're saying, right?
What's
But
hilarious? What's hilarious is that you guys all agree with.
Is
you
that
guys
the new
all
type
agree,
of math,
wait,
geometry?
You guys all agree with Euclidean principles, and you're willing to go along a critical thinking, logical path and then you're
Yeah.
saying Bev said it, but you guys have said it.
Yeah,
but
they
Bev
have
said
to
himself,
follow.
yeah.
We're quoting
It has to
Euclid.
follow up.
What the hell?
What the hell?
Oh, wonder what was that? What was that?
We're quoting
It has to
Euclid.
follow up.
What the hell?
Oh, look at that. They're always jumping over each other, aren't they? Ruining a bloody good clip. Listen to that. That would have been brilliant.
We're quoting
It has to
Euclid.
follow up.
What the hell?
I'm quoting Euclid. What the hell? That would have been great if somebody
Yeah,
else
but
hadn't
if
spoken
you
in the
catch
middle
what
of it.
Stefan says, I think it's just as fitting. I think it's still a good clip. Play it one more time.
Well, a
In
little
that
bit
same.
further.
No. The blues. Like, were you saying that he got talked over? Listen to what Stefan says.
We're quoting
It has to
Euclid.
follow up.
What the hell?
It has,
It
to,
has to
follow.
be.
It has to follow.
It has to follow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it has to follow. Like, I still think it's a good clip. Has to follow.
Think about
Him and Blue both.
Akumu Virus is in the chat here telling people to think about Euclidean geometry and say Bev's argument to yourself. That's Akumu Virus doing that. You should. Thanks for that, Akumu Virus. Everybody, think about Euclidean geometry and say the argument. Because that was the whole purpose of the argument, was to link Euclidean geometry to reality. If
Realizing Euclid.
all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon, then all horizontals will be parallel to one another. I mean, it's pretty simple. You can check those sort of principles themselves, whether that does geometrically follow within the principles of Euclidean geometry. And you'll find it does. It does. And then do as much further. That's the whole idea of the Euclidean principles and the axiomatic system. You derive a proof, and then you use that proof to build upon, to create more proofs. And then you use them to build that upon. It's proof on proof on proof on proof on proof. It's a marvelous system. It's called mathematics through logic. It's in the elements. What's in the elements? What are we looking for? It's in the elements. What, Bev's argument's in the elements? I don't think so. I think that would be the old principles and the propositions within Euclidean geometry. The backing for the argument would be within Euclidean geometry, Akumu. Come and have a chat if you're that into the geometry. You can tell us what's up with Blue Marble's argument if you want.
What the hell?
But to be strict, they have to follow in like using Euclidean geometry. They have to follow each other.
There you go. Look at that. They have to follow.
But to be strict, they have to follow in like using Euclidean geometry. They have to follow each other.
No, you guys have agreed this whole conversation for the last 2 hours about Cartesian coordinate systems and perpendicular and the whole gamut.
But then Bev is rejecting Euclidean geometry.
Wait. You just said he's reject. Wait. A guy. How is he rejecting Euclidean?
By saying that if horizontals are parallel, or horizontals are parallel and verticals are perpendicular to those parallel, that those verticals he doesn't know whether they would be. Just by saying he doesn't know it, he rejects Euclid.
Wait, so just by saying you don't know something means that you're saying something?
Right.
He's being ignorant at very. I can give him that he's being ignorant.
You're not
at
answering
least.
the question. Just by saying you don't know something.
Oh, sorry. Eric. Sorry, Akumu Virus. I must have got mistaken. The proofs are in Euclidean geometry. I mean, that does make sense. That's where the proofs are. I mean, we did say that. So thanks for that, Eric. Yeah, you're right there, Akumu. The proofs are within Euclidean geometry. Thanks for pointing that out.
Means you're saying something like
Yes.
that you know.
Yes, he's
Because he
denying
knows.
Euclid.
I think he
What?
understands. I
They're
think he
making
understands
logical
it.
leaps.
And if
I
he
think.
understands
Wow.
it,
They're
if he
attempting
understands
to
it, then he's
formulate a
rejecting it.
logical thing, but
Or-
they're making leaps of logic.
Or would you agree with me, Bev?
Wow.
If you don't understand, you can
Just hold
if you
on a second.
understood it, right, and you still reject it, or you still deny, you say you don't know. I would say you're rejecting it, or you are being ignorant. You don't know, basically.
I was just listening to some
Is that
guys
another
make
false
logical
I just
dichotomy?
want to ask you a
statements.
question, Bill.
That's
Just
a lot of
asking.
assumptions
Does
coming
Euclid
from people
say that two lines that are perpendicular to a third line are therefore parallel with each other, or not?
Right, here we go. Here's another one. This is the one.
That's a lot of assumptions
Does
coming
Euclid
from people
say
that.
Yeah, here we go. Does Euclid say?
Assumptions.
Does
coming-
Does
coming
Euclid
from people
say that two lines that are perpendicular to a third line are therefore parallel with each other, or not?
There you go. You can check that one up, right? The Kumu virus. While you're checking your Euclid, anybody else listening to as well? Blue Marble set you a challenge. Listen.
Does Euclid say that two lines that are perpendicular to a third line are therefore parallel with each other, or not?
Does Euclid say?
Does Euclid say that?
Right. Does Euclid say
that two lines that are perpendicular to a third line?
That two lines that are perpendicular to a third line
are therefore parallel with each other, or not?
Are therefore parallel with each other, or not? I'll leave that one open because I think that's one of the great questions of Blue Marble Science of 2024. Don't know whether it's been answered yet. And again, that'd be, I think, it'd be one of those things that you wouldn't want to say. I don't want to say it because the journey to answer the question should be yours. You don't want to be just getting the answer off somebody else. Just to tell Blue Marble, the answer to his question. I mean, he's asking it so you can learn, right?
Yeah, it's the personal journey we always talk about. Yeah. These are things that you need to think about.
I think that's what Blue Marble's doing. He wants people to look into this Euclidean geometry. He's made an argument. He's got into it. And it does grip you a bit, doesn't it? Like once you get into these sort of things, making arguments, sort of relating it to reality within this arena. The geometric argument is king round here. You cannot beat a Euclidean geometric argument. These guys can't. That's where all the proofs are. That's why they're all making Euclidean geometric arguments now. Can't get away from it. Listen again. Just so it'll stick in your head. I mean, only if you're you like these mathematical puzzles to see whether Euclid said something.
Does Euclid say that two lines that are perpendicular to a third line are therefore parallel with each other, or not?
Because it's fascinating, that question, when you come to answer it geometrically.
You should make a GIF out of that.
Yeah. Did I actually record that? I think I'm going to have to copy that. I think I did, though, didn't I? Did I already? I think I've already put it back down here, but it's probably worth. I mean, it could probably do with being wrote as a meme.
Well, that's what I mean, like a GIF,
Yeah.
like a meme. Like you could have it as a GIF, like that soundbite with the words, and then the question, put it out, and see what people say.
Yeah, what's his name? Blue Marble Science had that professor from the geometry, the mathematics department from that university. I bet he'd be interested in that sort of a question. That should be
Maybe.
something that he should be asking his students. Did Euclid ever say this? Because once you look into it, it gets even better.
Yeah, I mean, like you could have it like as a true false, or did he say it? What did he say? If not that.
Yeah, Zeptepi says he wants to hear it again. Which one, Zeptepi? The one that he's just done? Or Blue Marble's original argument? I think we'll do this one here. Listen to this again. For Zeptepi, this one.
Does Euclid say that two lines that are perpendicular to a third line are therefore parallel with each other or not?
Oh, hopefully that's the one that you wanted, Zeptepi. That one's for you. Say that again.
Is that what Euclid says?
Go on. Which one?
You got to repeat that again.
If two lines are perpendicular to the same line, then those lines are parallel with each other. Is that not what Euclid says?
I don't know. Which one? Which one?
Two lines.
Can you quote the proper? Yeah, see, you can hear Buster in the background thinking about it. Is it sound like something that Euclid would say? To know. It's a proposition. It's got to be a proposition, and it's got to be coming after the 30s because it involves parallels. Position.
I can go look it up if you want
that?
to. Yeah, I can go look it up if you want.
I've got. Blue says he's going to look it up. Look at that. Do you reckon he does? Proposition.
I can go look it up if you
that?
want to. Yeah, I can go look it up if you want.
I've got a book here. Well, go on. You're asking me, does he say it? Can I check?
You go ahead.
Yeah, which one?
No, you look it up.
Yeah.
No, Blue, you said it. Two perpendicular lines or something?
If two lines are perpendicular to a third line.
Yeah. And then the conclusion, right? So if two lines are perpendicular to a third line, it does sound like his argument type thing, doesn't it? Because he's doing the perpendiculars there. Except he's starting with the perpendiculars. He's not starting with parallels. He's just doing, if two lines are perpendicular, then, and you know, coming to a conclusion, right? He's not starting with parallel horizontals. That's right, Akumu, right? And then the conclusion, right? So that sounds like a theorem.
Two perpendicular lines.
It would involve parallels, right? So it wouldn't be before 30, right, Blue? Because he doesn't really mention parallels other than the Bridge of Asses,
I'm just asking
right?
you
But
if you
don't
disagree
mention
with
that.
it.
Leave that one for the
Are
end.
you saying that nowhere you
postulate?
Yeah.
You're familiar with that one, right? The triangle postulate, I think you called it.
Yeah, the parallel postulate.
Yeah.
Triangle axiom.
No, that's not a triangle
axiom. There we go. The triangle axiom.
Yeah, and we're just trying to find this one for Blue. Two lines perpendicular to...
Blue disagreed with Manufactotum.
Is that who that was, Manufactotum?
Well, no, I know Bev calls it the triangle axiom. Most people refer to it as a parallel postulate. That's fine. I'm just asking Bev what it says.
So he's asking us what it says for the parallel postulate. And I think what's going on here, I think Blue with his two lines perpendicular to a third line. I think what Blue's done is he's grabbed an enthymeme. If anybody's knows what that is. Blue Marble's got the enthymeme for the triangle axiom. I think that's what he's done. But so I don't know whether Euclid ever said it or not. I'm doubting it. Uh-oh. How long is it? Does anybody know? Like, how long's that video? Because look how happy they are.
just over an hour. I think it's the whole thing.
Right. Well, might be time for us to. Has it just
Premiere
been released?
release.
Has it just been released? Okay, right.
Yeah.
Can you put that in the YouTube chat for us?
Yeah.
Okay. This is pretty historic. I think people should watch this. This is Nathan Oakley and the Flat Earth Social. This is Ian. You're probably going to be hearing a lot about this little clip that we've got here. Well, it's not a clip, it's about an hour-long session of when Nathan Oakley went out to meet real people. It didn't end that badly. Well, it did. It ended pretty badly the next day, and unfortunately, I don't think Nathan's ever going to go back. Yes, that's unfortunate, isn't it, Mike? Yes, Nathan Oakley at the FES. So we are going to be doing more of this, going over these things. Obviously, it's a small crowd, and hey, you don't want to be inviting people into this arena. So I would say I'll cut this short. If anybody does want to watch this, wants to do like a group session watching it, we will be watching it right after we finish right now, and we're going to go straight into it. So click the link, come on into Discord, and we will be going over this meeting of Nathan Oakley with real people. Hopefully we might get to see all of the Globe Gangster boys hanging out. Right. Okie dokie. We'll come back, maybe do some more of this tomorrow. It is a free-for-all Friday. We may go back over to the Globe Gangsters tomorrow to do a free-for-all Friday, but we'll have to see how the mods are going to be acting. I don't like to have anybody being muted or anything when we do the free-for-all. We like to try and keep our own etiquette, but you never know. You never know what's going to happen over there. We might try and go over there for a bit and then come back over here to finish the conversation. Who knows? I think this Nathan Oakley thing is going to be the topic for a bit because it's fascinating. And what we got? We got to bust a song in. Let me just... anyone got any what have we not had for a bit? What about QE's BS? Not done that for a bit, have we? Alright, thank you very much for watching. Free for all Friday tomorrow. Come and join us in the Discord. We're going to go over Nathan Oakley at the FES and all of the hassle caused by the people asking him questions. Come into Discord. We'll see you tomorrow.
Of proof.
Allow me to introduce to you the one you've known for all these years, your Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Black Plague.
The Black Swan. Karl Popper originated the idea that if you assert that all swans are white, you only need to show one black swan to debunk that as a claim. Now, in the case of our
Black Swan, if P, then Q. Not Q, therefore not P.
we showed that where you would assert way called Earth curve, we can show that the hill that's supposed to be in the way of a set of oil rigs
not Q
isn't in the way of it. It's behind it. It's behind it.
Not Q, therefore not P.
Hill in the way called Earth curve.
Not Q, it's not my problem. Therefore not P. Therefore not P. Not P.
So based on that premise, demonstrated in the image we call
Black Swan,
we form a logical consistency argument.
Modus tollens. Holy shnikes, this is gonna leave a mark.
If the Earth was a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles,
If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, P,
then every distance to horizon measurement,
then any
as
horizon
made by
distance
using
measurement
composite
must
buildings,
be
could be no more than 1.2 times the square root of
Must
the
be
observer's height in
no
feet.
more than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height.
As laid down
Here.
in the begging
Then
the
any
question,
horizon
proof of
distance
nothing,
measurement must
perspective
be
hijacking Earth curve calculation. Then every
you would
distance
use
to
to make
horizon
that claim.
measurement. Meanwhile, in the black swan image, the horizon's behind the things that's supposed to be blocked by it.
Not Q,
Ergo, Earth has no Earth curve.
not Q,
You don't understand.
The horizon's behind the things that's supposed to be blocked by it.
not Q,
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You just
Then every
don't
distance to horizon measurement.
not Q. Why? Because the horizon distance was greater than
The horizon's
9.41
behind
miles.
the things that's supposed to be blocked by it.
Not Q,
Ergo, Earth has no Earth curve edge horizon in the form of,
not Q, therefore not P,
and the Earth is not a sphere.
therefore not P. The Earth is not a sphere,
Earth has no Earth curve edge horizon in the form of,
therefore not P.
and the Earth is not a sphere.
If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, P, therefore not P. The Earth is not a sphere.
If the Earth was a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles,
Therefore not P.
and the Earth is not a sphere.
Therefore not P. The Earth is not a sphere.
don't understand.
The black swan.
You don't understand.
If P, then Q. Not Q, therefore not
Not
P.
my problem if you don't want to learn. You just on your own.
Because that's what physical bridges that obscure fire hydrants do. Yeah, they don't do that.
No reason, no logic, no wisdom, no
Demonstrably not blowing up to vast times bigger than you'd have to have. Yeah, they don't do that.
no reason,
Yeah, they don't do that.
no logic,
Yeah, they don't do
no
that.
answers
Yeah, they don't do
to
that.
questions.
Yeah, they don't do that.
You're just on your own.
Here is the final kill shot.
You only need to show one black swan to debunk that as a claim.
So that's debunked.
Then every distance to horizon measurement.
So that's debunked.
Ergo, Earth has no Earth curve.
So that's debunked. Therefore not P. The Earth is not a sphere. So that's debunked.
Because physical hills don't do that. And if you're saying there's a physical hill blocking boats and buildings, we debunked it in 2020.
So that's debunked.
I thank you.